I got a new one coming in May.
Are you getting rid of it?
Alright, it is 8 o'clock, so I'll call the meeting to order, if we could stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, good morning everyone. Anyone for public discussion?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
How's everybody today?
Oh, not too
Good, how
bad.
about you?
Great. Starting to walk a little better.
Oh.
Anyway, a couple weeks back, I was here in regard to this, I guess it's the arbitration that you're doing for the FEMA dollars that we refused. And at that time, I thought maybe it'd be a good idea if the board would pay that legal bill. And it's my understanding there's been a bill come through. And would that be for about $16,999.26?
Sounds about right.
And was that bill put on the drain floor?
I don't know, I'd have to look.
Well, by your minutes, it was put on drain floor.
Yeah, I'd have to look.
Okay. Warrants have been issued?
I'd have to look, Don, I don't have that information with me.
Okay. Why do you justify that bill being put on drain floor that way?
Board hour agreements.
My understanding, I'm not aware in my brief tenure here that anything associated with a drain goes, or a district goes to that. And the county is not empowered to pick that up.
Have you folks read through this document, any?
What document are you
And
having?
the refusal document you got in November? If you go to Appendix A, which is a breakdown of the DI numbers and the bills, there's 9 different districts involved in this. You've got Drainage District 159, Hancock, Kossuth 236, Drain 80, 5 West, HK 587, HK 346, Drain 112, Drain 132, and PAK 1. Shouldn't this bill be broke out amongst all these districts? You don't know what you're doing? Is that what the silence means? You don't know what's going on?
The silence means we don't have that information right in front of us. If you want us to have information down, you need to get on the agenda so we can be prepared for that. That can't be handled in public discussion because we don't
Well, I'll
have the
check with the
information.
treasurer's office, see where the warrants are. But, and then on this, DI number 311-771 for drain 159, that shows $300,000 worth of claim on that DI number for that drain. What was done there?
That's not what was claimed, that what.
Well, that's what
that is
shows up
was
here.
Obligated, you're misinterpreting the facts as usual.
Well, we would like to have explanations for this.
Don's kinda like what Tammy just said. You're talking about documents and drains and what specifics of those, what you're reading. We don't have any of that in front of us.
Okay, so it took $17,000 for Lori to read it for you. That's what you're saying?
We're saying we don't have that information in front of us.
Okay, where is the arbitration at right now?
Still in process,
Yeah.
but that's a board discussion.
The landowners have no rights in this, evidently, huh?
Say that again.
The landowners have no rights? Do you know what's going on?
The board is doing what we can to get the money,
And all we've asked for is transparency.
and I feel that we have as much as we were able to do.
Okay. Well, I hope you look into this so the building is done fairly.
I'm quite sure it'll be done fairly.
Well, one can only hope. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else for public discussion then?
Thanks for hearing me out, guys. Just a couple quick things. I'm requesting again all the FEMA documentation. If you guys don't wanna take the time to provide it all, Mr. Freeman said that he would gladly give it up if the board voted and approved it. And, if the board would vote, that was between me and Leon. And he said he would turn it all over, but the board had to approve it, take action and approve it.
Vince, what FEMA information are you talking about?
On the DD4 project.
But we've given you everything that
What are
we
you
have.
No, we don't have everything, Tammy.
Everything that we have, you have.
No,
Yes.
we don't. I mean, we have documentation of that, and, okay, then if we already have it, what's the problem in giving it back to us again?
We
You've
don't,
got the same documents probably 5 times in multiple occasions, this is.
So as a board, you're okay if Leon turns over all his emails and documentations and correspondence with FEMA, all the records?
I think that should be something that we would discuss with
Yeah,
Leon,
that-
we're not
that's-
gonna take word.
Okay,
emails and stuff is
so
different.
then I'd like the board to take action on it and, cause he told me himself that he would gladly do it, but he has to get approval from the board. And the same way as FEMA. FEMA says it has to be approved by the board. Well, that's what I'm requesting is, you know, let them give us all the information, so we can see why things are denied, why they weren't. You know, Tammy said, and Kyle said it was just a broad, just a dollar amount reduction, and that's not true.
Don just had
I
the
mean-
determination memo, he was referencing standing 3 feet away from us. I think that's pretty obvious, you have the documentation.
And
Okay.
that is what it says
But
in there.
that's what I'm saying is that Tammy had made the statement, and you did too, Kyle, that it was just a dollar reduction, and that's not true.
That's
That's
exactly what
what-
the paper says.
That is what it says,
Okay.
and that is
But,
what we
and,
were told.
okay, and that's fine, but is there a problem with giving Leon free rein to turn over all his documentation?
That's not up to me.
That's not a discussion we're gonna have today.
Exactly, but I'd like it put on the agenda at some point where the board votes on it and says, yes, Mr. Freeman, you have free rein to turn over all your information, it's public information. And, turn it over to us, and, another thing, Carter, you just made the statement, you're doing everything you can to get money. At a meeting, you had your drainage lawyer tell you, and I'm sorry, Howard, you weren't here, Amber, you weren't here either, but the rest of the board was, where the lawyer told the board that dirt that was taken off of DD4 either had to come back or it had to be bought. Now we're scratching every nickel we can right now to get money for this district. The board at that point, the lawyer told them that, and nothing got done. It just got dropped. And at that time, Kyle was board president, and I'm requesting that be done too, that the board take a vote on it. And what are you gonna do? Are you gonna go by what the lawyer said and either bring the dirt back or have it paid for?
I
The
think,
statement was made at one time, Kyle said, we don't know how much dirt was taken off of there. Well, you should have an engineer's report, it should be fairly simple to, figure that calculation, how much dirt was taken off.
Do you know the date of that meeting?
It was the public meeting, when we first went over the DD4, the project that they were gonna do, 1152. And he said it was illegal to take the dirt off of that drainage district, it either had to come back or it had to be paid for. And the board just dropped it at that, nothing ever got done, and I'm requesting the board make it, you know, put that on the agenda and see where you stand on that too.
How long ago was this?
Well, this was
Couple years?
before they started project 1152, it was a public meeting, but
Five.
they had already done, Kyle had already approved this illegal 2-mile, project that they did, and they
So-
took the dirt off of it.
So, not, without picking a fight, how come you haven't done something in the, if it's been 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years?
I have, Howard. I've brought it up repeatedly to board members and the board and say, what are we gonna do about this? The lawyer said it has to be paid for, brought back. And nothing ever got done. It never got brought to a vote, anything, and that's what I'm asking now, Howard. Everybody, where do you stand? Does this money need to come back to DD4, or are we just gonna let it go away? You know, we keep getting stuck for bills for lawyers and everything else, yet the things that are cut and dried in black and white, and the lawyer already told you, we're just letting it go away. Just sweep it under the rug like it never happened.
Well, Vince, I think I understand what you're requesting. The board will have a conversation about your request with Leon and regarding this other matter. That was before even I was on the board, when that started, so,
Yeah.
anyway.
Kyle's very familiar with what I'm talking about, right, Kyle?
Sure am, we've talked about it probably about 100
Yeah.
times.
Yeah,
So-
we have,
so
and you've never done anything about it.
If you have anything else,
There's nothing to do.
otherwise the board will
Yeah, it
discuss
does,
this.
it does have something to do with me, Kyle. I'm a
Vince,
property owner
Vince.
on wait, I'm a property
Vince, this is
owner
the
on
board's meeting,
DD4.
not your meeting.
I realize that, but I'm a property owner on DD4 and I have every right to know,
You've had
Yep.
plenty of
and I'm
opportunities.
gonna
And
leave it
we-
at that.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else for public discussion?
Rod Bacon. Last week I was watching your meeting, and taking some notes. You had a agreement or was it a contract with the brush and weed?
Oh, brush control,
A quote.
okay.
We got
Was
a
it
quote.
cool?
A quote for spraying the road ditches.
So it
yeah.
ain't a contract for sure.
We,
The one
we,
from Doug
we
was.
voted to approve the
Yeah.
brush control spraying for the road ditches, yep, for the coming year.
Well, I'd suggest you get 2 bids. 'Cause I did some research. Faribault County had 2 bids from the 2 people. There's $36,000 difference. 48,000 or 26,000 difference. 48,000 to 76,000. That's 35%. For drainage district ditches, 95 miles, that's $3,500 a mile difference.
We didn't
And
do
there
drainage
is
district.
not,
We didn't do
It's
drainage.
not-
I know you didn't do drainage ditches,
No.
but you did ditches,
we did roadside.
right?
Right,
But it can be the same play in the roadside too.
okay,
And so I'm not saying you get 2 bids,
okay.
that's. Another thing I was listening to is your health insurance. You complain about a lot of bookwork, which I understand it could be. My advice to you is, if you're worried about an employee leaving, give them half the 1,200 and then the other half the second half. You don't have to give them a loan for an insurance bill. 'Cause if you pencil stuff out on their Josh's plan, if you have a big bill of $3,000 that maxes out your deductible, you have to add 3-4 months of premium in, which is $1,200 to $1,600. Plus the dollars that the county's gonna give them to offset to the high deductible. there ain't much difference in,
I didn't follow that at
I
all.
didn't know.
okay, the height, your Josh's plan is $3,000 deductible.
Okay, the traditional plan, yeah, okay.
If you had an emergency call, like they're talking, a big bill come due, you're gonna have that deductible used up, ain't you? If you have a big bill, that 3,000 will be gone,
Yeah.
but in the meantime, you're gonna have, as Doug said, July 1st, you have a premium due of $400. You go in July 4th to have your operation. Comes August 1st, you're gonna have another $400 of premium. By that time, the hospital probably will send out a bill for you. September 1st, you'll have another $400 of premium coming due. And then you can pay your hospital bill. So going to the high deductible plan is the same difference.
You're talking about the timeline in
Right.
between the event happening and the actual bill being paid.
That's
You're-
gotta be an employee's choice.
I know it is, but
I mean, they've gotta make that decision, we've
Right.
given them options,
But
that's
when you're
not
saying
for
to
us
borrow the
decide.
money to pay a bill, in time, we're gonna be asking you to borrow us money to pay the tax bill.
We said we weren't going to do that, we're not doing any loan.
We are,
Okay, you're not,
yeah,
No,
Okay.
we are
okay,
just,
that was
okay.
very, very clear in the meeting.
yes,
okay. I just wanted to bring that up, so.
thank you.
Yep, thanks.
Anyone else for public comment? Seeing none, I'll take a motion to approve the agenda and the meeting minutes from March 17th.
So moved.
Motion by Garmin,
I'll second.
second by Wactor. Any discussion on the minutes or the agenda for today? If not, all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Well, we have a Years of Service Award for Don Heiderscheit. Did I say that right? Did pretty good.
You did.
25 years. Thank you for your service.
Okay. And we do have another one, but I don't see
Randy,
that he's
yeah,
here.
okay. Okay.
So we can put it in this box, I don't know if you wanna mention it.
Okay. Yeah, we've got, on the agenda, 25 years of service for Randy Seawick as well. So congratulations to Randy. Okay, next up we have the Safety and the Wellness Committee minutes.
Before I step up, I make one more comment. I just checked with the treasurer, all these bills were putting us drain 4 over the edge. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Don. Okay, well, we can talk about that later. Safety and Wellness Committee minutes, if you've seen them, we can acknowledge them for the record. Okay. Next up, we have discussion decision to purchase a Zoll X Series monitor for EMS to be delivered in 12 months. Good morning, Phil.
Good morning. So we just completed our preventative maintenance on all of our equipment, and as we was going through our monitors, as you know, we have several that are reached their end of life. We're trying to spread those out on replacing them, so after we completed the preventative maintenance, our Zoll rep stopped in and I was talking to him about our monitors and how we plan to purchase stuff in the future. And he said that Zoll, April 1st, is gonna have a 7% increase on the price of their monitors, so it's gonna be about $300 to $3,200 price increase coming April 1st. He said if we want to, we can lock in the price, the current price, and we can delay receipt and purchase for 12 months. That would kind of coincide with our next purchase of the next ambulance that we approved, which will be July of that year, so there'd just be a couple months difference between receiving this and receiving the ambulance. This one here, now that we have a spare unit in place, I did include trading one in, an old unit in, and they're gonna give us $5,500 credit for the old unit traded in, so the actual cost of the new unit is $36,348.72. Like I say, nothing is due until delivery in March of 27. I have not brought this up to the advisory board yet because it's just happened and April 1st is coming pretty quick. So we've discussed this, we've been in the process of replacing these, and we just bought one on this year's budget. This will come into the next year's budget, which we did have in our budget for equipment replacement already.
Do we need a motion to approve?
So moved.
Okay, motion by Stecker to approve the purchase. Any second?
Well, that doesn't matter, whoever.
I heard Amber, second by Garmin. Any discussion on purchasing the monitor? Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Thank you.
Thanks, Bill.
Bill, as long as you're here, we still have that, are you getting an ambulance to pay for with ARPA funds? Cause that has to
Yes.
be done this fiscal year
Yes.
and currently, okay.
Yes.
Where am I?
That is the ambulance contract. Remember we had discrepancy, the two different prices on that bid?
Yep,
This is the cleared the contract up,
where am I supposed to
just
sign?
right. If you just put your
Oh,
name
by,
right there.
okay. Yep.
And I can fill in the witness part. Now, do you wanna sign the one for this monitor, or you want me to fill this one out?
I can do that, it's fine.
And the contract is for the 319, not the 320 on the ambulance.
Yep, okay. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you guys, have a great day.
You as well. Okay, next up, we have discussion decision possible changes in property insurance deductibles with PNC. Good morning.
Good morning, Bridget.
I'm Bridget Galligan, for those of you that may not know me. You have your current coverage with ICAP, and we do have options for deductibles that we can get quoted with the renewal. So current deductibles are listed at top. We did increase these back on 7/1 of '24, so there hasn't been any change since then to deductibles. Currently, your auto deductible is $1,000, whether it's comprehensive or a collision claim. And property, which includes all equipment, anything scheduled, would be a $5,000 deductible right now. We can quote any of those deductibles that are listed in the next section. So auto, we can do 2,500, 5,000, 7,500, or 10,000, and then property, we can go a little bit higher on that, up to 25,000. So our renewal process is starting. In April, we'll be meeting, I'll be meeting with the department heads to get information from them on any changes that we may not have picked up during the term. We've been really good on picking those up, so there's not usually much discussion on that, but we always meet and just find out if there's anything that hasn't been sent in. And with that, I will send in the request to do additional quotes with the deductibles, whatever you guys want to see. Do you have an opinion on which deductibles you want quoted out, or what your threshold would be? I guess we can request several.
Do you have any recommendation on what you've seen, or what other things of our size or nature would typically be at?
So a 5,000 deductible is a good starting point. I don't see anything less than that with the municipality.
For for autos?
For autos, the $1,000 deductible's out there a lot.
Okay.
I was looking back to 2024, most of the savings was on the property, like 30,000 was on the property portion, going from 1,000 to 5,000. We saved like 9,200 on the auto, going from a 200 comp and 600 collision to 1,000. So just the number of items that you have, we can get some premium savings. The rest of your packet, I kept it an evaluation project this past year for all autos that are over $100,000. That's the next set of information. Those ones are, there's about 3 or 4 pages in there that shows which items on the policy are currently at replacement cost. So those don't all need to stay on replacement cost, but if they did, that portion based upon the rate is 39,000 additional premium for that list. So like we keep things like ambulances on replacement cost, obviously, because they're very expensive to replace. If we have only actual cash value on that at the time of loss, you guys are gonna have a big bill due to get a new ambulance. So we don't have to keep replacement cost on all of those things, but that list is what we currently have replacement cost on. And so that right column is what the projected additional premium would be if we kept those values. So I just wanted to provide that. We don't have to go into that today, obviously, but I wanted you to have that for review. I'll be discussing that obviously with Tammy, and a lot of the equipment is Doug's, and Phil will discuss too, but since we're talking about deductibles and premiums, I just want to provide that too,
Thank you.
so. Overall rate increases, property is flat, there's a 2% rate or inflation guard that just keeps the building materials and labor costs kind of ticking up on buildings, so that'll be 2% overall. Otherwise, property rate is flat. They did not take any increase, which is an awesome thing considering where we've been the last 5-6 years with property rate in Iowa. So there is a 2% increase on liability rates, and then that middle additional increases for valuation project just speaks to those pages on the back. So there won't be a lot of rate increase just on what we're insuring right now. It'll be additional values. But we can offset those with some deductible options, so.
So, in my world, it's so much 1,000, for coverage.
It's a little more complicated than that, and I don't have any access to their rating system, so ICAP is not something that I can quote online. The pooling and all of that is done at ICAP, so we just need to request these. So we'll meet and we'll have the discussions as to what items may need to be changed, and then we request the policy quote with the current deductibles, and then we can say we wanna see 10,000 on property, or we wanna see 15,000 on property, and they'll send that back as an alternate quote. And what we get back is just one lump sum. Saying the auto, if you move this to 5,000, you're gonna save $12,000. If you move the property all from 5,000 to 20,000, you're gonna save, I'm just throwing numbers out there, 30,000. It's gonna be one lump sum is what I get back. We don't get a line by line, and I don't have access to that. We don't have any, like online.
So you ask them if you ask them, you got a motor grader here that's 400,000 or whatever, and did you say you're adding 2%, or they're adding 2% inflation guard to everything?
So the inflation guard goes on the property, the buildings, and the business personal property. So if we currently have a building covered for $500,000, it's gonna go up by 2%.
And that's they do that?
That
you
is an
do it?
automatic, yes, that is typical with any carrier. It's like on a homeowner's policy or on a farm policy, those are usually about 4 to 6% on an inflation guard.
But as a homeowner, you can pick your limits, right?
You have to comply with replacement cost in order to continue replacement cost.
If you want replacement cost.
Correct,
Okay,
yeah.
all right.
Yep, we have to insure properties to value to have the replacement. So those pages that you're looking at, that's their valuation project on the equipment. You don't have to accept all of those. I'm just providing it to you since I had the document ahead of the renewal.
So this far right column that says the difference in contribution, is that just what it will be, or that's with certain changes?
So those specific items, like if we're talking just the very top ones, the 1997 cat
Yep.
dozer, if you
Yep.
wanna keep replacement costs on that, obviously when it was added, we put replacement costs on it. If we don't tell them to increase that every year, that's why there's a gap in that value. If you wanna keep that 97 cat at replacement cost, you have to increase it to the $300,000 value. The additional contribution with the rate will be $1,034. So in through here, you can pick and choose, you don't have to keep all of them. Obviously, my recommendation would be that back sheet on the ambulances, we wanna keep those all on replacement costs. Some of this older equipment, I mean, it's completely up to you, and I mean, I'll talk to Doug about what the preference is there. So the deductible on the first page is policy-wide, and that's where we can see some premium savings. This back document is just because they did a valuation project, that is not a typical year.
Okay,
They just, as they see claims come in, and this is not just with ICAP or your policy, it's everywhere in the insurance industry, they're seeing claims that are needing to be settled much higher than they can be based upon what's on the policy. So if we have a $200,000 machine on the policy and it's totaled and it's 400,000 to replace, we have a gap, and then we have, you know, obviously a settlement issue, and they can't pay more than what's listed on the policy, so it just makes for a tough claim scenario and an unhappy outcome. So they paid the third party to go through all of their autos that are over 100,000, their equipment that's over 100,000. They do have a project that they're gonna do that with buildings too. We're not in the tier of the state that's affecting us yet. We don't know which year we'll get that, but that will be coming in the next few years to our area. They divided the state into 5, and last year was the first year, and I don't know when our sector is gonna get that, but that will be coming.
So should we be looking at something like anything over so many years goes to actual cash value?
So, yeah, and that's completely up to you guys for the equipment. That's a conversation that I can discuss with Doug too, that you guys can all get together on that, but Doug doesn't have this information yet. This is new information that I printed since I was gonna be here, so, we generally start talking about the renewal, since you guys have a July 1st, we generally start talking with the department heads the 1st of April to get the additional information that we might need to send in for quote.
So here's a quick question, you might not have an answer to, but the last one on the first page, it was 2011 motor grader. It's got a value of $463, yet the ones we bought in 2023 have a value of $409. So how do we have something 12 years older worth more money?
Where do you see a 2009, just so I can look at what the,
2011, sorry, the bottom of the first page of the 100,000 list,
and what are we comparing that to?
to the 2023 one in the middle of the page, there's 3 of them.
2023 in the middle of the page.
Yep,
Okay, so they're 2 different models. I'm not an equipment expert by any means, but I wonder if there's different values. Yeah, so this is an independent company, so the HCA Value is the company that they paid to do these valuations. If there's something specific, like when I sat down with Doug and he says, no, this is out of line for that, we can go back to them and say, hey, how'd you come up with this value? But I would, just looking at this from the
I mean.
surface, I think it's a model issue.
Kinda
But there's a
looking-
different
well,
valuation.
They've got everything from, under those 2023s, they've got 140H's all the way in between there and the bottom of the page, they're all at 400,000. And they're from 1997 to 2004, looks like the newest, so, I mean.
Because we're going off the replacement
That's
cost, so if you had to buy a
replacement
2026,
cost,
it's
a
gonna
new
cost you of that model,
Okay.
for a cat 140H, it's gonna cost you 400,000.
Example, middle of the second page, 1987
Yeah, that's
scraper,
yeah.
$700,000. You can't tell me that a 1987 scraper was
No,
$700,000.
no, absolutely not. So these items are all covered on replacement costs, but not for the values to actually replace. So yeah, if you wanted to buy a new cat 615 scraper, a 2026 model, it's gonna be 700,000.
Correct.
Yes, yours is not worth that, correct.
Right.
The question is gonna be, do you wanna keep the replacement cost of
Yep.
something happens?
Okay.
I mean,
And we
I guess
have
my
that
thought is,
now
you do have replacement costs
on
now.
everything.
These items, over 100,000, yes. This is not your entire equipment schedule. Anything that was valued 100,000 or more is what automatically
Just
went into
those.
the valuation program that they looked at. So you can pick and choose through here if you wanna keep the replacement cost per item, we don't have to by any means.
I know today it's on there for the deductible, but like after you meet with the departments and stuff, would you be able to come back and give us a recap of what
Absolutely.
we're,
What we're
they
asking,
said,
what they thought.
what, yeah, so that we're just,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I
and you
guess,
know about that before we do anything different? But I mean, the deductibles, I think we should.
So the next
Yeah,
one, you just need
definitely.
to tell me which ones you want quoted, and I can make notes of that, so that when we have everything put together, we'll post those
yeah,
alternatives.
so if we go back to the autos with comp and collision, I know you said 1,000's not terribly out of line, is 2,000, 3,000 worth looking at, like,
I mean,
what
this-
other things would you?
Yeah.
Options are
Yeah.
2,500 and 5,000.
Or
Yeah.
2,500, 5,000.
I don't think it's out of line for you guys to consider 2,500 or 5,000.
Okay, it might be worth seeing both. of
I
those
mean,
quotes.
honestly, a lot of individuals are making that decision now just because they're
Yeah.
willing to take on a little more risk and see that premium savings. So I would not feel that honestly any of those options are out of line for you.
Yeah,
I'd
and
be
even,
okay with
even to the
2500.
property side, maybe getting quotes on the next two lowest as well, of 75 and 10, just,
Okay.
then we could see if,
And we'll see the most savings on the property versus the auto.
okay,
So you want me to request 2,500 and 5,000 on auto and 7,500 and 10,000 on the property?
We need
Yeah,
to
I would
make a
think so.
motion.
I think, wait, do the motion first.
if you got
That's
thought,
fine.
throw it out.
Make a
but-
comment.
Well, I think you need to, I'm not suggesting we wanna go to the upper end or anything, but I think
You wanna see it?
you wanna
See
see
the
it,
difference.
because if you find out that, and I have no idea what we're talking about here, embarrassingly so, but if you see that you're gonna say, I'm making this up, don't excuse my exaggeration, but you're gonna see 50,000 in premium, you might take on a $25,000 deductible.
Yeah,
So,
Yeah,
so do we
just see
quote,
what you get, yeah.
do we quote the bottom and the top end of both of the ranges?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay,
I'm not saying we're going there, or I'm recommending going there, but it might be interesting just to
what's the
see.
turnaround time to get more quotes if we want more after the first?
We're gonna send them what you want initially, because they're
Okay.
7/1, you guys are on July 1st, that is, they have over half of their policies renewed during that time, so this time it does take a long time to get that, so we need to submit what we want initially, whatever you may want to see, so that they can send that back all together.
Is it too much to ask for 3 different ones?
Or 5 different ones, I
So,
mean.
yeah, I mean, I'm just thinking if we don't wanna get buried in a ton of numbers, but I have no problem looking through all of them, that doesn't bother me at all.
but do you really think we might, I mean, that we might change
Realistically.
the vehicles to 7,500 and 10,000? I mean, I can see the property
So the
more
property, you guys, just your claims history, you don't turn in a ton of
Yeah.
property, you turn in quite a few with the sheriff's
Right.
vehicles.
That's
And the road
And I mean,
department.
like you are turning in
Mm-hmm.
frequency on the auto,
So
whereas
maybe,
you know, I would,
Can we get a summary or a general summary of claims history when we look at those, quotes too, cause that, I mean, you probably know some of it off your head, but, that might be something for us to have valuable info on, so we can see that trend a little bit.
yes,
Perfect, then,
yeah.
so maybe just do a couple for the 2,500 and 5 for the auto, but do all of them for the building? Property?
I'd be on board with it.
That's fine.
okay, I'll make that in motion to quote the 2,500 and 5,000 for auto and all 5 options for property.
6, do we wanna quote to stay on the 5,000 too?
You will get that,
We will get
yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
so we'll send in all the information, we have
Okay.
a renewal application that will go in with all the information that's currently on the policy, and they'll provide us just what we have now for an apples to apples, and then they'll just give us, where I was talking more, it's like, here's your
Additional
10,000
quotes.
deductible, all I'm gonna get is, on the auto, it's gonna save you this dollar amount for the whole year, and on the property, it'll save you this, it won't break it down by item, it'll just be, do you wanna do this? And we
That's
can't,
alright.
we
Which
can't
should
pick
be
and choose, yeah, you have to do everything.
And
It's not like your personal auto where you can say, I want that one at 1,000 and that one at
Sure.
2,500, it's just by
Yeah.
policy line, so it's a pretty simple alternate quote, so usually we see a couple, it shouldn't be too bogged down to see 5 on the property, it should be pretty clear.
Well,
So-
if it's just a general total dollar
It
figure,
is,
that
yeah,
should be pretty
it's
easy to
pretty
look at.
simple, so, yeah. I can do that,
Second.
Need a second to that?
I'll second.
you guys have anything
You
else
saying,
you'd
okay,
like?
Glenn?
Yeah.
Do you have any other questions or anything you'd like to see that we can put together?
I think so.
Okay, alright, thank you for your time.
Thank you.
We need a vote here.
Any
Yeah.
discussion? Yep. Any further discussion on that? Okay, if not, all in favor say aye.
I-
Any opposed?
Thanks.
Thank you.
Motion
Okay, have a
carried.
good day.
Thanks, Bridget,
Thanks, you
yep. Okay. Doug is up next, if you wanna give him a call, please, Howard.
Sure.
Okay.
5-minute break in between.
Yeah.
Hi Doug, Howard Buzz. We're up to the resurfacing projects. We're gonna take a 5 or 10 minute break here. We'll be back. Okay. Yep, thank you.
Stay 24.
He said he'd be up here in 5 minutes. I said 5 to 10 minute break, which is fine. We just won't be, I know we won't be back here in 5 minutes.
Yeah,
So why are they in between ACAP and us? If we
they're
just-
the agent
So
basically.
you have to have an agent, you can't go directly to.
I don't know if you think, I don't think so, I think you have to have an agent. I don't know that I've ever asked that question, but I think so.
ICAP has something to do with Iowa State Association of Counties or not at all?
Iowa County's assurance pool, is ICAP, so it's,
And I'm your representative, Beth, but we've never had meetings.
yeah,
Not since I've been chairman anyway.
yeah, I don't know that they have regular ones, or maybe we just don't get invited, I don't know.
For me too. I was gonna say, cause yeah, I saw you had one part. I'm learning, it's like. I don't like to hang out in the right but everyone does. Because you can't, I'm looking at feet. When I first got it, I remember I was like a Hy-Vee, far out, I need my space. I've been driving a car my whole life. I used to work for a company in Texas and they thought, and I told them why, they thought it would be smart and save money. Yeah. When people come out of town, because I work remotely. And just like, when they got in, we just walked my cars in them. Can we see him, like, long hours, yes, try and park that in Fort Worth, Texas. I'll be right back.
Cut down, I saw you the other day trying to cut that down or
so
trim
there's,
it or whatever.
there's like a volunteer one or something else inside the apple tree that's there, so that's what I was taking out, I think I got all those, but a lot of those were the ones that were getting down into your head space where you can walk through there, so I was trying to get that too, there's probably a few on the apple tree that could be trimmed back, but that put out some of the best apples I've ever had off the
Really?
apple tree. Yeah, I was kind of surprised. But, yeah, the other one inside there was more of a pain than anything, but there was a couple spots on it that were pretty tall, I had to get as high as I could on the ladder and try and chunk it off, but got it, so I guess there's that.
So you decided not to run. I was surprised, I was waiting for you to come in.
Yeah, I've gotten plenty of calls.
You're running on parking.
I don't know. I've been asked that plenty of times too, but
Just haven't decided.
yeah, I don't know. What would be, yeah, I don't know.
My turn to pay for me.
Yeah, I said I was waiting for him to come in.
I thought maybe a minute, 4:59
Yeah,
on Friday.
I was waiting for that.
That would've been kind of entertaining.
Yeah.
Howard, the minute you tell them we're not gonna be back in 5 minutes, we're back in 5 minutes.
This phone could have rang. Yeah, it's alright. It'll be here.
I know.
I don't want to turn it off, we don't need to turn this into a steam room, but it's getting chilly.
Yeah, it is starting to get chilly again.
I'm good right now.
That's why I wear my
I
jacket
think
in
Josh
here.
and I get the worst of it, cause it circles back and hits us.
Yeah.
It does, especially Amber's chair.
That
That's right.
location gets the
I
worst.
sat there the first
I've
2
gotten
years,
It's cold.
or first year and a half, whatever that was,
Mhm.
and it does get a little chillier there.
I can feel the air blowing right off the top of it.
It goes over
It's
me.
hitting right in my face.
Yeah, I feel
right
like
now.
there's a vent under here. I know there's not, but I always feel air from underneath here.
Well, Tammy, I've gotten more emails from that. Send, that wanted those. Remember we talked the one day?
Hi, John. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Documentation,
Alright,
and
what's
new
new?
invoices.
Anything?
and-
Is there anything in the code
Yeah,
this
didn't I
year?
email you that
Things are
I
about
didn't,
Normal for you?
We're good, yeah.
Oh, that's good.
that I'm not showing anything for that?
Yeah.
What's the property
I,
taxes?
oh, what did I say?
Oh, yeah.
So I
Well, you
looked
said
it up
it was
and
already submitted, or,
No,
Discussions going on to see.
Yeah, there was,
that there, that we
A
don't
bill
have
that
an
came out
amount, the
yes,
amount that we have paid does not.
which looks like sort of the first salvo between ours and some.
I'll look at that later,
we'll need to
but
figure that out.
I think I sent you something that said I looked it up, and all I can find
I remember,
With his newsletter
is-
last week,
Uh-huh,
and got a little bit more specific, so.
yeah.
right here, I'm not,
Now,
that's what you said, I see an amount of 19.8
it's a difficult situation.
in your rhetoric.
It looks like most of them are gonna say, it'd be like a hundred,
We'll try and figure that out.
Right.
and then a lot of details after that.
What else?
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, that's kind of the same thing.
Yeah. yeah, yeah.
Alright,
Not putting the cap on themselves.
good morning, Doug.
Good morning.
morning, Doug.
We are up to awarding contracts for road resurfacing projects.
Yes, we had, 4 projects last week. Let at the Iowa DOT, the, tabs, location map is in your, folder, along with a resolution to approve of those, award the contracts, excuse me, for those projects. We're very satisfied with the bids. We had an estimate total of $5,324,666.25. Low bidder was Hartman out of Mesa City. They bid $4,793,695.61. So greater than $500,000 less than what our estimate was. And I would recommend to the board that they would approve this resolution. The resolution, first paragraph, talks about the projects and best interest of Kossuth County and their residents to get that work completed. The second paragraph sought appropriate professional guidance for the concept and planning of the projects, following the steps required by the Code of Iowa, notifications, hearings, bidding, and letting. Third paragraph, the board finds the resolution appropriate and necessary to protect, preserve, and improve the rights, privileges, property, peace, safety, health, welfare, comfort, and convenience of Kossuth County and its citizens, as provided for in and permitted by section 331, .301 of the Code of Iowa, and therefore it is resolved to accept the bid from Heartland Asphalt in the amount of $4,793,695.61, and awards the associated contract to the same. And then be it further resolved that all resolutions or part of resolutions in conflict with this resolution are hereby repealed. And be it further resolved that the Board of Supervisors of Kossuth County, Iowa, after receiving the necessary contract documents, including but not limited to the contractor's bond and certificate of insurance, that Douglas A. Miller, the county engineer of Kossuth County, be and is hereby designated, authorized, and empowered on behalf of the Board of Supervisors of said county to execute the contracts in connection with the awarded construction project through the DOT for this county.
Do we have a resolution number? Okay. Alright, this will be resolution 03242601. Motion by Stecker to approve,
Second.
second by Wactor. Any further discussion on the road resurfacing project contract?
Couple quick
Yep,
questions.
go ahead.
Doug, you talk about 4 different, so the one that seems continuous, just you take a break at A42 and part of it's south of it and part of it's north of it, or?
That's correct, and the part to the north is going to have cold in place recycling done on that, so it's a little bit different procedure
The
than
part-
just an overlay,
Okay.
so, and it's, just wanna make sure here quick. Yeah, the part to the south is funded using local funds, and the part to the north is funded using farm to market funds. So that's why the two are kind of divided up.
Okay.
Funding and type of
And the
construction.
others are funded how?
The A42 project east-west is funded using federal surface transportation block grant.
Okay, that's in
And-
there, I'm just not smart enough to see it, I'm
No,
sorry.
that's fine. And the project on the county line is funded using local funds. Half of those funds will be reimbursed to us by Hancock County.
I know that's in the code there, now that you say all that, that it.
I don't know the letter stand
Yeah,
for.
yeah, yeah, I'm
No,
sorry.
it's fine.
No. Hard to remember all the acronyms.
Isn't it? No. I'm done.
Okay. If no further questions, or, you got
What-
one more?
Any clue as to when?
Right now, we cannot visit with the low bidder until
Until
all
we
the
approve it?
contracts are signed. So, once we award, get everything taken care of, I'll know a little bit more about what's going on.
You can't talk to them about when they can do it until you
It's
tell them
against-
they can do it.
That'll put the federal funds in jeopardy, to
Okay.
be honest with you.
Okay,
Yes.
alright, I'm sorry.
Nope, you're good, good question. Alright, no further questions? Then all in favor, roll call vote please, yeah, thank you.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin,
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes,
Nath.
Yes. Okay, resolution is approved.
Sorry, I didn't have it in the right order there, Tammy.
You're good.
If you can sign that, please, and we'll get everything taken care of. I would assume I'll know by tomorrow at least what their plans are. And I'm hoping that it would be one of their first projects, so start the middle of May or so.
Oh, okay.
I would hope they would, we'll see.
Okay, very good.
it's never a good time, I know.
Anything for right away?
We do have a request for removing, I think right now we have 137 locations in Eagle, Grant, Harrison, Swaya, Seneca, Greenwood, Ramsey Townships, Ledyard, various locations. There is a second permit coming. I think the way Doug Crouch wrote this is for approximately 260 power poles in various locations throughout their service boundary within Kossuth County. They've been out testing their poles, they know they have poles that are in poor shape and they just need to get them replaced. I would recommend that the board would approve of this request.
Motion by Garmin, second by Stecker, had his hand up. Okay.
Garmin Whacker?
Garmin, Stecker.
Stecker, I'm sorry, okay, thank you.
Okay, any discussion on the right-of-way work? Hearing none, all in favor of approving, please say aye.
I,
Any opposed? Motion carried. Yep.
Carter, thank you.
Thank you. Is that all for right away then?
That is.
Okay, anything for discussion today?
Road conditions, gravel roads, we did take off wings yesterday from our maintainers. We still have the wing posts on if we would get a snow. Looking at 10-day forecast, right now, it doesn't appear that any snowstorms are in the way. But anyway, we are blading gravel road territories. I would anticipate that soon we'll be having a contractor up to do some crack filling in some locations, and we have scheduled some slurry leveling, and we ourselves in our office need to go out and do some paved road inventory to get some things taken care of there. Equipment, we do have a maintainer that lost its oil pressure. It's out of service, it's 161, it's a 2022. Everything is under warranty on that one. And then one of our tractor backhoes, boom failed on it and it's out of service. We're hoping both of those will be back in service by the end of this week, possibly the middle of next. We do have a local letting scheduled next week for 2 projects. Be on the agenda to read the bids and award contracts. Working on the program and hopefully have a 5-year draft program to the board next Tuesday. Roof repair, I've asked for quotes for our sign shop and now going to the Seneca shop. Steel roofs to be put on those, and then the engineer's garage, I'm requested that those be returned to me April 10th, and we'll get a contractor to work on those. Hutchins Pit over in Hancock County, our new tenant is starting to clean the fence line, and he'd like to reconstruct fence over there. There's plenty of steel fence posts. He has corner posts that he has himself, and he'd like the county to provide the fence and some wood posts for building that. He's working on the south side, which would be between our property and the railroad. He is doing all the labor, has all the equipment, would like us to provide fence. I have no problem with doing that. It's about a quarter mile there, or 5 rolls of fence, $100 a roll or so. So we're looking at $500, maybe $1,000 to do that work. But he's putting some effort into that so he can have some cattle grazing in there. So we do have that going.
I forgot who's our tenant there.
Pardon me?
I forgot who's our
Dan
tenant.
Patton.
Dan Patton, that's right.
Got an annual closure for the financial assurance with Kossuth Waste Management coming up, and that's about it right now. So I got a lot of work going on. Our office has a lot of work in spring. I don't know if it's here yet, but it's pretty done.
It's getting close.
Sure felt like it on Saturday.
Yes, it did.
Felt
well, it's summer.
summer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, anything for Doug?
Is there any update on the junkyard or timeline?
Cameras are up, we got signs, we should be getting those in. Once we have the signs there, law enforcement says they will start prosecuting, and we're hoping this week we'll get in there and get garbage and, tires taken out, that's our goal at the end of this week.
For this week, good, thanks.
We had one person, actually, we got him on camera, I think it was Sunday, throwing garbage out the tires. So we'll see what happens.
Good.
But law enforcement would like to have those signs. And I'm
Are
pretty
they
sure,
here, or?
What's that?
Are the signs here yet?
no, they're supposed to be delivered this week. So as soon as we get them, we'll get them out there. It looked like a local resident of Kossuth County plates, somewhere up there. Stopped, took him about 15 seconds and he was gone. Had a back pickup opened up and put him. So, anyway, I hope he isn't one of them that is complaining about the,
So nothing will happen with that one because the signs weren't in place?
I gotta talk to Roger.
Talk hard.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even if they just approach him and put the scare in him. It wasn't me.
Yep,
All right.
okay, thanks Doug. Well, it is after 9 o'clock, we've got our consideration of the second reading of the solar ordinance, amending the Kossuth County, Iowa zoning ordinance to regulate the construction and operation of utility scale solar energy systems in the unincorporated area of Kossuth County. Okay. We need to read this again?
I think you can waive the actual reading
yeah,
of it.
yeah.
I'll make a motion to waive the second and third reading.
Okay,
You're
Um, the-
gonna need it in separate.
Yeah, cause this
Yeah.
is,
Separate motions?
Just do the second.
yeah, it's just for the second reading.
Okay.
I know you're excited.
Yeah. I'll second. Waive
Okay.
the second reading.
Okay, made a motion by Wactor, second by Stecker to waive the second reading.
Save your voice.
Appreciate that. Okay. And then any discussion on that motion? Hearing none, all in favor of, can it be all favors? Or is it a roll call?
Should be fine with it.
Okay, all in favor of approving then, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. And then
And we should probably approve the second.
approve the second reading, okay.
I'll
Yep,
make a motion to
yep.
approve the second.
Alright, motion by Wactor to approve the second reading of the ordinance, second by Stecker. Any discussion on the second reading? Hearing none, roll call vote please then.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin. Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes. Okay, second reading is complete. And then,
I'll move to suspend the requirements.
Okay.
That it be considered and voted on for passage of three meetings of the board.
okay, we have a motion by Stecker.
Tell me what that means.
Means we can do the second and third reading at the same time,
Right
rather
now.
than separate meetings.
Is that gonna have to be this week or next week?
Right now.
Right now.
Next
I will second that.
Okay.
Motion by Haas, or second by Haas, I mean.
I'm sorry.
You're good.
Okay, motion by Stecker, second by Haas to suspend the requirement. Any discussion on that? If not, all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Then we'll need a motion to approve the third reading.
I got that.
Okay, motion by Haas,
I'll second.
second by Wactor.
And it will be ordinance 320C.
Okay, this is ordinance 320C.
Yeah.
Okay. Further discussion on ordinance 320C? If not, roll call vote please.
Wactor,
Yes.
Garmin.
Yes.
Stecker,
Yes.
Haas,
Yes.
Nath.
Yes.
Done and over.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it.
That's been 1 year and a half in the.
I've been here a year and a half, it's longer than that.
I think we started it right before that, so, good enough, thanks Corey.
No problem.
Yeah. You know,
Thanks
you
for all that
made it, you
input.
made it through a whole ordinance process now, so that's good.
I like that a little bit there, that went a lot better.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks.
Yep, have a good one.
Hey, we are are done with the solar ordinance, are you on your way up to the courthouse?
Oh, who you talking
Perfect, we'll see you here in a couple minutes. That'll work, thanks. Tyler Jr. is owned by Vets Park right now.
to? Okay.
Here in a second.
Yeah, John, did you wanna give your update now?
Sure, I could.
Okay, I don't know how much time you need, or,
Yeah.
yeah.
I'd do it, but it'd take me 2 minutes.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
It's okay?
Go for it, yep. It's a comfier chair than this one.
I'm pretty flexible on time, so if you need me to move along, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
Good to be here, good to talk to you all as always. I'll just touch briefly on what we've got going on with respect to drainage right now. I guess the main thing is the legislature. They are starting to take up budget bills, which usually means that they're sort of targeting adjournment at this point. Normally they would be out next month sometime, and I expect that will happen. We have, as an association, about 30 pieces of legislation relating to drainage that we followed this year. Some of those are sort of peripheral. Some of those are directly related to drainage. But I can tell you that we have 2 people that are in the Capitol every day watching out for your interest. So we make sure that the bills are covered, and if we need to have input, we have that input and talk to the people we need to talk to. Nothing really major that we see coming down the pipe drainage-wise, but there's still time for mischief, as they say. And of course, you know, the other big thing that doesn't directly relate to drainage, but, you know, has a big impact on you all is what they're gonna do on property taxes. We did start to see a major bill come out yesterday. You know, I think you're gonna have, when it comes down to it, 3 competing proposals. You're gonna have the governor's proposal, the House proposal, and the Senate proposal, and they'll, of course, have to figure out which way they're gonna go with those. I think most proposals are gonna cap property tax growth. 102% is what I've seen most of them say. So I think you'll see something like that. And then, of course, there'll be a lot of details after that. You know, they pretty much made it clear that one of the main priorities for them this session is to do something on property taxes, which they have not been able to do in previous years. And generally, that's probably not good news for you all. You know, it put limits on, and, you know, obviously that's gonna have different impacts in different counties depending upon what your growth situation is. But it can create some issues going forward. So we'll be watching that. One of the things that IDDA started several years ago, which we will do again this year, is a summer meeting for the drainage administrators. We have not set that yet. I've had difficulty pinning down our legal counsel on potential dates. He keeps busy during the legislative session, but we will get that pinned down hopefully in the next couple of weeks here, and get notifications out so people can get that calendar. Annual meeting is set to go back to the same location. That will be December 4th.
if you attended the annual meeting last year, you know that there has been some changes at the hotel. And the area that had been used as essentially their meeting room space where we had our big general session, is now a restaurant. So they had moved us into a smaller area for our general session, which was not ideal, but it was not horrible. I mean, it was just more cramped than we were used to. So I talked to the board earlier this year about, you know, we've always been in Fort Dodge. We've always been at the Star, not always, but for the most part, we've been at the Starlight. I said, you know, we have had other facilities, other cities that have expressed interest in potentially hosting the conference. We had proposals put forward from Mason City as an example. So I talked to the board, I said, you know, what do you want to do? Do we want to stay and try to make it work, or do you want to consider moving? And the board decided to stay put. I think the board felt that with some fine tuning, we could make that facility work. I think the thought was that, you know, we could move the registration desk out into the hallway as opposed to having the registration in the meeting room. That would clear up some space, and we thought with those changes, the facility would work out suitably for us. So they did decide to stay put. So that is the plan moving forward for the annual conference for next year. I guess that, you know, I guess that's about it, unless you all have any questions or comments you'd like to make.
I have one question, John, as long as you're here. We're kind of redoing our drainage. We have a new drainage clerk, and so we've had some help from other counties. And one of the other counties suggested that our drainage meetings, discussions be held separately from the board meetings. Like we'd adjourn our regular meeting and then go into drainage. Is that something that's in the code? Is that something some counties just do? Can you give us any clarification on that?
Yeah, I'm not aware of anything in the code.
Okay.
It's practice.
Okay.
And some counties do it and some counties don't.
Okay. Okay.
I mean, I've seen it both ways.
So there's nothing wrong with, like, we highlight and put drainage on our session that has
Right.
drainage. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
No, nothing in the code, and I know some counties are very formal about it. They adjourn the board meeting, reconvene
Yeah.
as drainage trustees. Some people just have it as part of the agenda, and there's no right or wrong way.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think the context to that is it's actually a separate role from our supervisors. We are trustees by default as supervisors if they don't have their own trustees.
Right.
But it is a separate role, which is one of the reasons that things are sometimes better to be separated, but from a practical or functional standpoint, if you adjourn one meeting and immediately roll into the next, you're not really changing anything. It's just kind of the mentality of those separate roles.
Right.
Okay.
And the minutes are separate anyway, right?
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I mean, we have them in our regular minutes, but we also have separate drainage minutes.
Each drain has minutes, that are separate.
Yeah.
But like I said, I've seen it done both ways.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure it wasn't a requirement that we were missing, so, thank you.
Okay. Anything else for John? Well, thanks for being with us. Yeah.
Thank you all, appreciate your
Appreciate you
support as always, and hope you're able to make it to the annual conference this year.
Very good.
Yep.
Enjoy your day. Okay, next up, we have consider
appointing an engineer for 10 county wetland locator project for wetland siting and initial landowner meetings. And I believe that, no,
And-
yeah, that's not you, or,
Yeah, well, that would be the 2080, right?
Right, and I guess I can speak a bit more to that. The 2080 on that is, I'm now told it's still a tentative, it's not yet been finalized. They're working through language with one of the other participating counties. So there's the two ways of going about this. The 3 of the 10 counties have proceeded without the 28E being in place. They've moved forward, they've made their appointments, they've gone through, and they've been submitting all of their reimbursement claims to Clay County, and those have been getting paid. Else, that I'm not entirely sure how long the 28E will be being worked on until they can get the language how they'd like. At that point, that would be finalized. The 28E is essentially just the confirmation that of Clay to uphold their responsibilities of seeing the state money through them to the participating counties. So there's the 28E agreement portion of it, and then there's also the assignment or the appointment of an engineer for the completion of those duties. So they're two kind of they're separate but combined. So that's the update I have on that. The counties that have gone forward, Clay, their siting and landowner meetings have been completed. Pocahontas and Palo Alto have proceeded forward and had or are having the landowner meetings currently, so.
And this is all funded through IDALs, right?
Correct.
That's what I thought.
so we need a motion to appoint an engineer.
I'd make a motion to appoint Bolton and Ming.
Okay, there's a motion by Stecker to appoint Bolton and May,
I'll second.
second by Wactor. Discussion on,
This is just for Kossuth County, or is there incentive for the 10 counties to all have the same?
that's what I was gonna ask too.
We have been doing that for the other counties. We've been in conversation throughout the beginning with all 10. I don't want to say or ever just count it as a formality that everyone would have the same. That's why there's the ability to appoint individually. But I think our relationship with it and our closeness with it lends to a level of expertise with this particular project to have us.
No doubt, we talked about this last week or whenever it was, but it's Clay, is it Dickinson?
Who are the?
I don't know that it matters,
Clay's the one.
Yeah, I understand that.
Handling the
Yeah.
administrative
I
side,
remember
but
that.
yeah, I know there was,
It's
I can't remember all the
Clay,
meetings.
Pocahontas, Palo Alto, Kossuth, Story.
Oh, wow. There's no logic there then. Who, I interrupted you, but who determined that the 10 counties were a group?
Probably whatever projects IDALs wanted to.
Oh, yeah, it's, and you have to forgive me, it's been, cause this has been going on for a number of years, I'm not entirely sure how it.
I'm not entirely sure it matters.
How it started, it was, I guess, kind of a group of counties that we were more familiar with doing work in, so that it was a bit more of an approachable situation of going to those client counties and broaching the idea that just became the group of 10.
Some of it may have been talked about at ISAC, but I'm not
There's, I mean, and there's been meetings cause I remember some of the first meetings that were held down in Fort Dodge that were years ago
Yeah.
to get this going and get the funding. It's,
There's a meeting over in Emmitsburg too.
right, exactly, there's another, it's another attempt by the state to get out and utilize their funds outside of requiring the state staff on that. And so that's how the whole thing kinda came to be.
And it's heavily driven on volunteer participation rather than heavy-handed regulations, which I think most farmers appreciate.
Need a dead end low spot, basically, which you said there's more of than you would think.
They are the
Specific geography that.
prairie pothole regions.
And you identify them?
We do, yes. That's what we have been doing, is utilizing LiDAR data, in-field verifications, lining up with the potential of known drainage systems for the utilization. And then we handle the potential of those sites, how viable they are, and mailing to the landowners to get judge their willingness to participate. We've been seeing decent amount of, I don't have the exact numbers, but I know it's been between 40 and 60 locations that have been sent to people, and that's been per county. And so I would imagine the size of Kossuth County, it will be on that upper end. So. And it's all, again, to Cal's point, it's all voluntary for landowner participation. One of the things that, now that there is the funding, that the money is there on these, I think for a long time, people were hesitant because there was it was good in practice, it was good theoretically, but there wasn't always the money to.
Incentive.
Right, now.
There wasn't the follow through that.
Right, now there is that follow through where people are seeing real dollar values on less than productive farm acres that is really kind of driving
Yep,
participation, so.
the rubber's finally meeting the road.
I would say that there's incentive to having one cohesive throughout, but I'm biased too, so that's. You know, so that's.
Grain of salt.
Right.
Okay, well, there is a motion and second to appoint Bolton and May. So, any further thoughts or discussion to that point? Okay, if not, all in favor of approving the motion, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay.
Alright, then are we into
Ducks Unlimited?
Ducks Unlimited?
For D four line 11?
Yes.
Did we ever do the 2018 agreement, or what are we waiting?
Oh, do we,
He said that we're waiting for it to be
Yeah.
finished, they're redoing it.
Yeah, so
You wanna see what, even though some have gone ahead without seeing that wording,
yes,
that might be dangerous, I guess, I don't know.
it's,
I
To
think
put-
we should
to-
send it to Todd before we formally vote on it too, and I haven't personally done that, I don't know if anybody else has.
Well, that's coming back with more changes, you don't wanna do it yet.
Well, depends on what those changes are, you could just look at the one-off changes too, but yeah, I would
Okay.
say we should get his blessing before we actually.
yes,
vote on it.
I would wait on that, and we will hold off before we do anything that would require reimbursement until that's been done, so. Next up, if you're to it, Ducks Unlimited. I have some copies of that here for the record, and anyone that'd like to kind of look, I guess, those are maybe more if you wanna just take a set and share them. I'll leave the spec books down there. This is for the
upper portion through the federal ground of the Drainage District number 4 lateral 11 project. This is what their grant is to cover, and the excess go to the Drainage District. This was reviewed, really what started the entire improvement project on lateral 11 downstream of this. Originally, they had the main portion of their project as a 36. That has been revised to a 42-inch through up to the turn of the main. After the turn to the highway will now need to be a 36-inch to connect with the 36-inch boring underneath the highway. So Ducks Unlimited, in conjunction with the Union Slough, has submitted these plans to the district to be bid and then considered. We have worked in conjunction with them to make sure that this aligns with our project, and there is understanding that there will need to be continued conversations moving forward for construction coordinations. The biggest thing about this is that the funding and construction would need to be done by the 1st of October. My recommendation for a completion date on this then, to make sure that we have all of the paperwork done, is September 1st of this year. That would mean, and if everything goes well, which sometimes participation, weather, things like that, there shouldn't be an issue with the lower port being completed beforehand, but having this with a completion date beforehand to make sure the district gets that funding, because it's significant, over $240,000.
That's been in the works for 4+ years.
Right. This will need to have that earlier completion date, and if it needs to be completed before the lower portion is done, so be it. That is even a conversation I've had with the contractor that would potentially be interested in this, that has been awarded the lower portion of the project. So there is an understanding there. About the worst case scenario I could see is that this be constructed before, but it's going to be close enough to the existing outlet that the elevation difference with some dewatering could be taken care of until the rest of the project makes it to that point. It's not that we're trying to create an additional outlet, we're leaving the existing line in place, so that, because one of the biggest reasons for the improvement, not only in size, but it also gains 2 feet of elevation difference from what the original plan of this was. So you'd have those 2 feet that you'd need to account for if this ended up getting built before the other outlet portion. So that is what has been brought before us as the district from Ducks Unlimited.
So there was some language in there where it has to be built to their specifications and everything, and you make sure that that happens?
Well, they've provided their plans and specifications. It will need to be built to their requirements. As far as the berms, the things that above ground that are unique to their project, they are still solely responsible for. They being Ducks Unlimited and the Union Slough. Had conversations with them, they are planning on having representation there. As far as the district's facilities, the replacement, that they would like to have the district oversee for its satisfaction, to make sure that those facilities are put in and installed the way that the district wants it, so.
I realize this is gonna be ignorant, but what we approved with Reitzel's last week, I believe, is all below this?
and the highway crossing at the very
Top.
up end,
So
yes,
that's part of Wrightsl's bid.
correct,
But it stops on the west side of the highway then for now?
correct.
Okay. So what we approved last week is below this property.
Yep, right down at the
Right here.
bottom.
Actually comes exactly to, we worked with their plans and our plans, they meet together at the exact point,
Right.
which is essentially the southern property line of the Union Slough ground.
Right.
That's why I say, and they have a note in here on their documents that the elevations in here are, the actual construction elevations are known to be lower, because our plans show it being lower. And that it's in conjunction with that plan downstream.
And without seeming like a ass and splitting hairs, is a question, so I understand that this ground is Union Slough managed. Is it actually considered Union Slough ground also?
It's US Fish and Wildlife,
Purchased by the federal government.
yes,
So, but it's managed by the people at Union Slough.
correct. And they have been the oversight on the wetland portion of this project.
And I guess the quick version I could reiterate about the financial side of their grant is that was an opportunity for some sort of financial contribution because the federal government has a long-standing tradition of not paying drainage assessments, so.
So the district is paying the construction costs and they're paying the material,
Up to $242,300.
and that's enough?
That would have been enough for the 36. There will be additional based on that
Depending on the
upside.
price, depending.
Right, depending on the, we have that much money to go towards material,
Yep.
whether it covers it or
Not.
not.
Mhm.
So there will need to be a bid, date and time set for this. We typically like to, the district is usually giving about, for the notice, requires 2 weeks, so 3 weeks for the opening. I think that would put us to the 14th.
Do we have any conflicts?
Not the 14th, all the other days, yes, but the 14th we're
Wanna
good.
do 9, 10?
14th, 9 o'clock.
We'll make that
Plan on it, okay. Motion
Does
by
that-
Stecker,
Does that include accepting the plans and specs?
I don't know if do we need to have them separate or together? I don't know.
I think you could do it all together,
We can
accepting the
do it
plans and
together.
specifications, setting the bid date and time, bid opening date and time for April 14th at 9.
Works for me.
Okay. Motion, somebody wanna second that?
Sure.
Second by Haas. Everyone understand the motion, date and time, any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried. Okay,
I think the last thing would be consideration, setting that typically the week
Week
that follows.
okay,
Yeah, I'll make that motion the next Tuesday.
21st of April.
We have our budget public hearing at 8:30 that day. That usually takes probably an hour.
Do it 10.
10 be fine.
Okay.
Okay. We'll set it for, motion for April 21st at 10 o'clock for the bid opening. Anyone
For the
want to?
consideration.
Or bid, sorry, bid consideration, thank you, I said that wrong. Anybody wanna second that?
I'll second.
Second by Wactor, discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
Alright,
Thanks, Tyler.
that is all I have.
Very good.
Appreciate it all.
Let Heather have that. I don't think so. Okay, we are up to drainage repair requests, or request.
Thanks, Todd.
Thank you.
What have you got?
So I've got number 7, and it is in 8082, section 28 and 27 of Hebron Township. I've talked with Gene Thompson on this a lot of times. The investigation that was done, and I'll follow up with Zach after this, but, to the best of my memory, I'm pretty confident the investigation was able to get most, if not everywhere that was desired at the time. And I know they were able to get through the road. There was some small debris and stuff in there, but, I guess I'm pretty confident the majority of the concerns and issues are more so related to quantity of water that's the system's able to handle. I think an improvement project is the only thing that's really going to substantially change the area. There's definitely things that could be repaired, but there's thousands of places the same repairs could be made, and it's not a urgent or critical need. Any holes that have been appearing up there have been taken care of. I don't know of any significant ones. I know there's been a couple small ones in Gene's field, but I guess we can do some more televising, we can do some more digging, but I really don't know what that's going to accomplish in this location, so.
Okay.
I don't know if anybody else has
So
thoughts.
you don't wanna do anything, basically?
I definitely wanna follow up with Zach and see if he remembers anything different than that. I mean, we could look at the video footage, but I guess I don't know of anything significant that we could do as a repair that would really change the water flow here. If there was a pipe that was a quarter full of mud, they wouldn't be able to get through it with the camera. I've seen relatively minor things that the camera just can't travel through them. And that's, I mean, say you have 10% of mud in the bottom of a pipe and it spins out and can't go any farther, or a little piece of clay or concrete or whatever, and the camera just can't travel that location. It's minorly affecting the water flow, but it's something that if the camera can travel through it, it's mostly open and functional typically. And I guess I don't know of any specific sections or areas that it's like we could fix 100 feet and double the water flow or anything like that. So I think it can definitely be followed up on. I just don't know that there's anything substantial that can be done without an improvement project to change the functionality of the system.
Does he agree with that, or is he gonna take exception to that, or?
What about the request, so I don't know.
Depends on the time of conversation you have. Like I said, we've talked about this probably a dozen times over the last year or two. And part of it has been, I mean, with the excessive rains we've had the last couple of years, sometimes he's called and it's been completely underwater, so you can't go out and do anything at that point in time. And I've had him call me back when it was functional to go do something or whatever, but I just don't, I think the system's too overloaded. I mean, we did some work at the end of the ditch. There was some concerns that the top of the ditch was restricting the flow of the tiles. That upper mile of the ditch has been cleaned out. I just don't know right now what more can be done without an improvement project. I mean, Gene's comment to me the last time I talked to him on the phone, which was probably just over a week ago, I suppose, he said we should just run a 24-inch pipe from the ditch up to his field, and I said, well, that's an improvement project, not a repair. So, I don't know that there's any repair that would satisfy the desires there, but I've communicated that many times.
Well, we can motion to let supervisors handle their requests and you can work with Jean and Zach and however you need to take care of that, I guess.
So I just wanted to inform everyone
Yep.
what's going on there, cause it's just a underserved area, I would say, but yeah,
The only one in Kossuth County.
almost.
Nope. So, anybody wanna make a motion then to have supervisors handle their requests?
I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion by Haas.
I'll second. Sorry.
No, you're good. Jeff.
Alright, second by
Maybe I could
Wactor.
pawn it off to Howard so
There
he
you
gets
go.
some experience.
Yeah, second by Wactor. Any discussion? If not, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
I just wanna say one thing.
Yeah.
Heather, thank you for the detail on the request form, the map,
Yeah,
all of that, that's very much appreciated. Thank you for that.
you're
Absolutely.
doing good.
Makes our job a little bit easier when there's detail
Trying.
like that, honestly, so
Mhm.
thank you.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
She's doing a great job.
Yeah, and I don't know if I'd say anything in the meeting here, but in my conversations with Heather, I was impressed with the, follow through on getting the Excel sheet updated and review which requests are done and not done and having that in an organized fashion, because there's a lot that needed to be caught up on, and it looked like that got done relatively efficiently, I would say.
Thank you.
So, that's a huge step in the right direction.
We're very lucky to have her. Thank you.
Very good. Okay, anything else you need from us?
Nope.
Okay, okay,
Thank you.
we've got discussion decision health insurance options. Anything we need to discuss today about that?
Yeah, Doug and Donna will
Okay,
need, they wanna give you the information.
Doug and Donna?
Yeah,
Doug and Donna.
I'll take Doug.
I can take Donna, that's fine.
Quick break.
yeah,
Quick little break.
sounds wonderful.
Time to.
Just a little bit.
Yeah.
Thank you, Kyle and Amber, for pointing that out.
Good morning
Yeah,
again,
I-
Doug, Howard.
I was impressed with that.
They're
I
gonna
like
take
that.
another quick
Thank you.
break and they'll be ready for the health insurance.
It's
Can't
nice
ever
for them
have
to hear
enough
that. I know.
Information. So
That's
that-
nice
Working
for
on
them
it.
to hear
Carter's
it,
doing
so
it
thank
as we
you.
speak.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, yeah, I know there was a lot that was needing to be done, so
Yeah.
that was nice to see.
She's already balanced the worksheet for, Elizabeth that
Hey,
you
Donna,
use
good
when they
morning.
come in to do, check the
Yes,
drainage.
hey,
stuff.
we
She's
are up
already got
to
it
health
balanced.
insurance. We're gonna take a quick break
No, I
here,
don't.
and so if you wanna meander over this
I
way,
think
that'd be great.
I should delegate
Alright,
it to
yep,
you.
thanks.
So this is an open ditch. Here's
Pretty
his
good.
property.
No, well, so I think the ditch actually ends, I don't know that it continues on quite like that.
I don't even, not my neck of the woods in any way,
I'm more, the tile that serves his property definitely dumps into the top end of the ditch, I can say that.
The end of the ditch you're talking about, there's the very end, very top end of the ditch.
Top end of the ditch, I
You're
don't
talking about
know,
elevation or geography? When you say top end of the ditch?
both,
Okay.
same thing.
No, I mean, is that where the ditch ends, when you?
No,
It's not the
no,
upper end of the ditch.
the upper end of the ditch, he dumps into the top, so the start of the water flow.
So he got fall to burn, is that your point? If he wanted to do it?
I don't know that he's got a lot of fall to burn, but he's got. There's the ability to drain water that way, there's no,
Is this Lots Creek Gene Time, no different Gene Time?
from, Lone Rock.
Up by the,
Right,
yeah, up
yeah.
by Lots Creek.
Yeah,
He happens to own a 40 up here in the middle.
yes, he does. So. Okay, so here's where the open ditch actually ends. There's some tiles that come across here and you can actually see where they tied into them, private tiling. And Gene's piece
Yeah,
is
further north.
right here.
Yeah.
So that tile system comes down, ties into those, but those tile systems continue all the way down here, all the way over there, and there's just a ton of acres on them.
They're tile and not, the open ditch is lower yet, or where is the open ditch?
So, Gene's property
Yes,
is here,
yes.
the open ditch is down here, so it's basically a mile
Going which
southwest.
way?
Southwest.
It's flowing to the southwest too?
His water would flow
No,
to the
yeah, I understand
southwest,
that.
but then the ditch actually flows north, this goes up into Minnesota.
Okay, thank you,
Yep,
yeah, okay, but there's a lot of tile below it coming that way yet too.
right,
Below it geographically, the flow, but still flowing north.
yes.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you. I don't know why I thought I wanted to know that, but excuse me, but
Well, and it's not a bad question, but like the area that those main tiles serve, I mean, you're looking at 5 miles of tile,
yeah,
and it's,
it's a long ways.
I mean, there's really no way to cut the cake. You've got a lot of private tiling that's been done since then, the mains are full, and they're doing the best they can. I'm not saying that it's perfect condition everywhere throughout there, because there's very few tiles that are 100 years old that are picture perfect condition, but it's just massively undersized, and I would say if we had any engineering done on it, you would probably be significantly below an 1/8 inch coefficient. And if you get a 3-inch rain that takes 24 days to go down, you're not gonna be happy about it, but that's just the math of the equation.
Before we get started with that, I'm Karen, bring her new employee in to
Sure.
introduce.
Yeah, go for it.
Hop along like hop along like I've been there, done that.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello.
Hello.
Introducing our newest hire, Amanda Whitcup.
Nice to meet you.
Amanda Carter Nath, Howard Hawes,
Kyle?
Kyle Stecker, Amanda Garmin.
Amber.
Amanda Garmin. It's the A's, I apologize. And Josh
It's our
Wacker.
first time meeting.
Yeah.
Anyhow, she started March 16th, and Doug Miller is our county engineer. I mean, Amanda, Doug, yes. So we're getting in the groove, she's picking up passports fast and furious and everything else in the office, but anyhow,
Yeah.
we're glad to have her aboard.
Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah.
Thanks for coming in.
Thank you
yeah.
for
Yes,
coming in.
yes. Sorry, Amanda.
No problem, Candy.
Donna coming over?
She is coming over. Yep, yep.
A little further to go.
Morning.
Morning.
So we'll just be going over, Doug, what the board thinks of the outline, what to propose to the banks or the lending institutions.
That is part of it, I guess,
Okay.
and I think kind of putting the final touches on the information that's gonna be provided to the employees on the board's behalf.
Sure. Yep.
So, make sure that we're not missing anything.
Good morning.
Break.
Hi, Donna.
You guys are on.
We're ready for you.
Carter doesn't allow us very long breaks.
I was
No,
gonna say, well.
I'm pretty
you said
strict on
Mander
that.
over, so I- Manders. Okay. We're ready for me?
We are ready.
Okay. I think we have our we do have our informational meeting starting tomorrow. Do I need to remind you of the times?
10, 1 and
10,
5.
1:30 and 5, wasn't it?
Yep, yep.
Okay, out at the nature
Nature
center.
Center.
We got it 1:30 and 5.
Have a fairly good sign up. I think since last week, I do have 3 that signed up for the 31st at 6. So I'm thinking, and I know that there's people that haven't signed up yet, so I'm thinking we'll go ahead and have that. And then on Thursday, we kind of did a preliminary overview of the information that we're gonna present for the department heads and a couple board members. I don't know if there's any feedback from that or thoughts. We'll give you that information today too. Still waiting on a couple of questions for Michelle, just to clarify, having an agent, if you have a current FSA, you cannot move, the IRS will not let you start an HSA in July. You can't terminate the plan year. I thought maybe we could, so then therefore we would have the January open enrollment.
Speak up a little bit.
Sorry, January open enrollment. Sorry. Okay, and then we also have looked at the vendors for any banks in Kossuth County. I don't know.
I did, I provided the board, this information.
Okay.
The cover letter, the request for proposal, and your list of banks.
Okay, okay. And then I just have drafts of the questions and answers, the frequently.
And I have drafts of the option summary.
Which I'm hoping tomorrow, or by tomorrow, I can remove the draft. So if you see anything tonight, or when you read these, let me know. I know there'll be more questions, but I think this is a good start.
This is significantly different from what we saw on Thursday. Just report.
This is the same.
Yeah,
This
this
is
is
not
laid out
changed.
different.
I don't know about you.
I have a couple more questions
Ask
that
questions.
have at those two that I just went over.
Yeah. And the HSA, FSA conundrum is certain, you know, do that.
Based on what I got from Health Equity, it kind of goes in circles, saying that it can't be done, but if you wanted to, you maybe could, but the IRS doesn't have written guidance to do it, so to consult your legal counsel. I don't think we wanna get that messy. Unfortunately, you know.
We do have an email to Wellmark with that,
I also have
some information,
'Cause
sharing it with them, so maybe they'll have a take on it as well.
because I kinda wanna confirm that if we do the January open enrollment, that aligns with them, which in theory it should.
And there is or is not a relationship between Wellmark and Health Equity,
I think they're one of their preferred vendors.
but they're not owned by them or anything.
Not that I'm
I
aware
don't
of,
get that
but there is a strong relationship. They have a lot of employers that use Health Equity for vendors.
Anything else that has transpired in the last week?
I thought the department head meeting went really well. With the questions and it seemed well received, everything good, I thought. I guess we're gonna know.
We're gonna know tomorrow.
Yeah, I mean, that's all we can do.
Yep.
You guys have done a good job putting it
And
together.
there will probably, unfortunately, be my take anyway, I don't know. There'll probably be questions asked that we may have to get answers for.
Right.
So, we may have a final version of question and answers that needs to go to employees, so that if they did not attend the first, the additional ones, we may.
Maybe prepared, I mean, those open enrollment dates, then we can solidify.
But anyway, we will have to see. Does the board still wanna go through the request for proposals to local banks? And did you get an opportunity to read through the request for proposals, and would the board like additional information put on that?
I did not receive the email,
I just put
In
it in
the
the
packet,
electronic folder, sorry.
yeah.
There was one place where I thought I saw a typo, but then you could correct me and say, no, it's supposed to be like that.
Where's that, Amber?
Section 1 instructions. Should it be HSAs and not HASs?
That
Oh,
Yeah, auto, it does auto,
auto corrects, and that's a
Okay.
hard one.
yeah,
yeah.
For whatever reason,
yeah.
it wants to change it. Thank you, though. Yes, that
Yeah.
should, that is correct.
Cause I think on the frequently asked questions, I had to go in and I, a couple of times had to override it because it still
Yeah.
wanted to bounce back to has, not HSA.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure how to put this in a, RFP, but I guess online banking ability or like mobile banking platforms would be something that is not necessarily the same from bank to bank. Like I said, I don't know if or how you would get information that way, but they might have a handout or something of what services they offer electronically or mobilely.
It's all gonna be.
On the proposal outline, Kossuth County requests information on services you provide for employers and employees to determine. This is page 404. Your proposal should include, but is not limited to, and under employee, number 4, employee support and service center. If employees have questions about anything on their HSA, how is support provided? Online banking, mobile banking, methods of payments, debit cards, checks, online bill paying, eligible HSA expenses, IRS compliance. Is that what, I mean, you're more than welcome to take over, Kyle. You created this whole situation, and I'll ask Donna, do you remember a few months ago when I made a statement that if board members start interfering with our work, that I was done? Do you remember that statement?
I do believe, I don't know
Tammy,
when.
do you remember that statement? Carter, do you remember that statement?
Yeah, I remember.
You do? Howard, do you remember that?
We talked about it, but I don't remember.
Kyle, do you remember?
This is
Amber, do
something
you
the board
remember?
votes on.
Josh, do you remember?
Is this the county engineers board or the Kossuth County Board of
That's,
Supervisors?
I just said, I am a volunteer here with insurance. I was asked to volunteer. Now, if you wanna go ahead and get the proposal, you're more than welcome. You guys can do it.
Okay, this is escalating way more than it needs to be.
But it is, you do remember me making a statement.
I remember you saying
Okay,
something
thank
to
you.
those effect. I don't remember, but we're not, I don't know how we're interfering. I think it's just asking questions. I
You don't know
didn't
how
take it
much
as an
work?
interference.
With the request for proposal takes. Okay?
And we did ask for this last week, I mean, it's.
Yeah.
Because there was,
So lots of.
there was questions, it's pretty obvious, an email was sent from Ms. Olson at the bank at Bancroft, I think that's Fidelity, to Kyle Stecker. Kyle forwarded it to everybody. So this was created because of that.
Well, it was also brought up weeks before that.
That's fine. You guys can find somebody else to do the health insurance work.
Thanks, Tom.
If you see anything on the frequently asked questions, please contact me, but I think we're gonna just go with it.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah, no, I think
Thank you,
it's
Donna.
good.
Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Donna.
have a good day.
Do we have to make any decision there at all?
If the board would like somebody else to do the presentations tomorrow, and next week, let me know. I'd like that decision right now, because if I don't need to work on it, I won't.
I was fine with the proposal,
I think we want you to do the presentation.
yeah.
I think I want you to continue everything, you're appreciated, I know by me, but
And by me.
I don't.
I think it's important that Mr. Stecker understand that going behind people's backs to complete your own agenda is not welcome.
You
And I
want me
made
to
the
respond
statement.
to that?
Pardon me?
Do you want me to respond to that now?
Sure.
I think it's entirely inappropriate to only look at a specific set of choices without looking at other things that could also benefit our employees.
Okay, so why don't you instruct people
I
to do
brought
that
that up.
instead? No, instead.
Actually, I did.
No, instead of you can go to a lot of banks. And that's what you did. You went behind people's backs instead of saying, will you please include Fidelity?
I specifically asked
That's
that
what you
in this
did.
boardroom, to look at other banks in this
And
county.
we have.
Not all of them, obviously.
We did not know if you wanted all of them. Now, as a board, I want this to be resolved. As a board, please, you are a board of supervisors. One supervisor does not make decisions for a board. So I want instruction.
Go to all the banks that you think are appropriate.
Okay.
Is there anyone that wouldn't
Do
be
you want me
appropriate?
to, continue any of the services I do for health insurance?
Yes.
Yes.
Will Supervisor Stecker, instead of going behind people's back and doing work, will you please communicate with us?
I brought it up in the boardroom. It's on video. I had talked about other banks in the area, very clearly. You didn't wanna look at other banks, so it wasn't done.
We looked at other banks. Donna looked at other banks. She did. And we talked. Tammy, correct me if I'm wrong. Tammy, Donna, and I talked about it. We also looked at health equity. We didn't make any decisions. In fact, I think the decision was to go with a local bank. We never said, what local bank? Nothing. Now, can you allow employees, volunteers to do their work?
I don't think that's been an issue the
Okay.
entire time.
I will be writing a letter, and I want, because it has been an issue. You talked with Wellmark when you were first starting to talk about high deductible health plans. You went behind people's back on that. Now you talk with one bank in a local area. And if you can't do it, I can't work that way, I'm sorry. And the board, I apologize, but that's the way it is. And I would hope that you understand that as well, that the board is the one who directs workers to do things, not one supervisor. Is that understood?
Yeah, we operate that way.
I agree. And I would like it to see it that way.
And if you don't want me to do the work, that's fine too. I got other work I can do. I got the road department, and I have the transfer station.
Continue on. Do we need to make any more decisions of this?
I don't think so. I think it is what it is presented for tomorrow, so.
So and they left, but I was gonna ask this, a lot of times, and it's different, this isn't just me, I understand, but this not this decision, you know, it's, well, there's not clear guidance on the FSA, HSA thing. Did you, and I left last week, I apologize for leaving, but did you just, that affects the county's contribution too? We would be, if it was determined that was against the rules, it would affect what we're putting in there for the initial funding and the match later?
Well, you couldn't sign up for it, or, yeah.
But if that was a personal decision of mine based on what I just heard for guidance, I believe I'd be going forward personally, you know what I'm saying? So did we discuss it as far as what the right thing to do? You know, I guess I wouldn't let that derail. I would read the statement, kind of what Donna said about it's unclear, but what's the risk?
So when we talked last with Wellmark, they were gonna check on it and make sure that they were correct, but for those people that sign up that don't have an FSA and sign up in July, they'd get the $1,200.
Right.
For those people that can't sign up in July because they have an FSA, they would sign up at the open enrollment before January.
Sure.
But then, Donna and Doug thought maybe they'd talk to you to see if they could still get that $1,200, cause it's not their fault that they can't sign up in July because their FSA can't transfer over. So I think that was, but they were waiting to get final information.
And are they still waiting, you think, or I kinda took Donna to say it's not
Yeah, it
working?
sounds like it's not going to be, so, that would be a decision for you guys.
And I know there was at the department head meeting, you know, concerns like, okay, I have this FSA, how am I gonna spend it by this date or whatever, so.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah,
I
so
think
that would be the solution.
It's like 5 or 6 people, is that
No,
correct?
it's like, 10 to 12, I
Okay,
think.
alright.
It's more than what they thought it was,
Okay,
so.
that's, so maybe I was under that impression.
You were, but it's more
Okay.
than they thought.
Okay,
10 to 12 that currently have flex accounts that wouldn't be able to switch.
Right.
Well,
so it would affect.
They can switch, they just can't have an HSA
Sure,
until
Till their
their
FSA
FSA
is
is.
gone.
Yes.
well, I think if we're front loading all employees, it's, I don't know, I think we still do it, even if they can't until January.
Like that's what Howard said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, if that's what we said we were gonna do,
Right.
it's only fair that we do
Right.
that. It's, in my opinion,
Mm-hmm,
but
yeah, I agree. Yep.
can I ask, like, okay, so tomorrow there's those 3 sessions. I do have a 9 o'clock appointment that I might not be able to be at the 10 o'clock. But I plan on going to the 1:30 and the 5 o'clock. Just wanna make sure we're represented.
I'll be there.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I'm done by 10, I'm gonna come, but I just might be late, but
Mm-hmm.
it's something I can't change.
I have kinda the same thing, I have a 9 o'clock too, but I hope to be done.
I think
We'll be there.
have it covered
So
between
we're
the 3.
covered with, okay, perfect. I just wanna make sure.
They would like you to be at as many as you can,
Right.
as a board, so you can answer questions that come up.
I won't be able to be at any of them tomorrow, I've got, much going on, but the 31st, I should be able to make at least the 2. I'll try to make that 6 o'clock one, so that way, you know, the few people that are there have, one, that's one part member, and hope anybody else is planning on being there for that.
On the 31st.
The 31st, yeah.
The 31st is a Tuesday, so, you know, I'm just scheduled off all day for board, so I
Mhm,
can do
mhm.
whatever on Tuesday, but
Okay.
this,
Yeah,
Tomorrow I'll be there, barring disaster.
sure.
So,
Yep.
and tomorrow we're all at the nature.
Yes, yep, they're all at the nature center tomorrow.
yeah, and the election center on the 31st. Yeah, and they didn't schedule any meetings in the morning on the 31st, so they.
1, 3, and 6.
Yeah. I won't be here tomorrow. Roger, Derek, Chris, and I will be at a election tabletop exercise in Mason City tomorrow. So, I will not be here.
Okay. Anything there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
We'll work it out.
I'll-
We'll work it out.
and And I will be around.
Alright,
Okay,
I will be
so,
around.
auditor discussion.
okay, proposed tax hearing at 1 o'clock today. The insurance meeting's tomorrow, 9 o'clock on Friday, meeting with Doug Forshoe and Carissa and Phil and anybody else who can attend at the emergency response complex to go over what they've come up with since the last meeting. So 9 o'clock on Friday. Next week, we'll set the date and time for the budget hearing, which I'm hoping you can set for April 21st. We have a bid letting for the engineer's office, and then next Thursday, attending the employee meetings at the election center. Let's see what else. Would it be appropriate to talk a little bit about Don McGregor's conversation this morning?
That's fine, I was gonna bring it up too, so
Okay.
go ahead now.
So, after he talked, it's hard to answer questions when we don't have the information in front of us, but, afterwards, I've been thinking all morning a little bit about it, but I'm pretty sure, and please correct me if I'm wrong, that everything we're getting billed for is for DD4, because the money that we're all waiting for is for DD4, is that correct?
So, that determination memo and that project encompasses more than just DD4, but the difference in what was obligated versus final costs is basically entirely, the difference is DD4. So, as it was discussed by both of us this morning, the determination memo is not a, this is in, this is out determination memo, it's a broad stroke of the pen, so technically it would affect everything. But the substantial differences is primarily on DD4, which we have talked about. And that's why we had the conversation that it was an expense for Drain 4, because that's going to be the primary benefactor.
And that's why we've billed them out of DD4. Are we incorrect in that? Because if we are,
That was discussed in the
then,
boardroom.
okay, I thought so after I was thinking about it, but I want to make sure that we are doing it correctly
No,
because,
when the first bill came in, Tammy asked about it.
That wasn't
right
that long
there.
ago.
A couple weeks ago,
Yeah.
a month ago maybe.
Okay.
I don't remember that, but it probably
Yeah,
happened,
it was,
yeah.
it was
But,
discussed.
You asked about it.
yeah, I probably did. But I just wanna make sure that we are doing it correctly.
me too,
Because I don't like this. I don't like what happened this morning. I don't like being
Oh,
accused of
no,
things. I want to do it correctly. That is our goal, to do it correctly.
So when we say substantially, what, there is some monetary benefit going to those other ones, or if it comes through?
So, to really break it down, you'd have to look at the whole determination memo, the DIs that are included there, the dollars that were spent for each of them, and where they've been allocated so far. So far, the requests for reimbursement that we have put in have only been for Drain 4. So the entire project covers more than just Drain 4.
Right.
But the other drains have not been paid yet for anything. So they are deserved their portion of compensation, you could argue, but they haven't gotten anything yet. So it's insanely complicated because the projects were set up the way they were from the very beginning with site inspections and all that. Having multiple drains within the same FEMA project is something that I would never recommend doing again. I don't know if they will only let us have so many projects, I don't remember why it was set up that way, that's just the way they set stuff up in the beginning. But at the end of the day, all of the DIs that would be within that project would technically be affected by the project as a whole. But like I said, the others haven't gotten compensation, so you could argue that Drain 4 has gotten more than it should have so far, and that would be a valid argument. The reality is, the requests for reimbursement were only submitted based on Drain 4's invoices because it was big lump sums and we expected to get the rest at the tail end. So
So
there's-
how's that money gonna be separated if it comes in?
And how are we gonna know?
Everybody gonna get their share.
It's gonna have to be separated based on the expenses that were turned in.
So we're gonna have to transfer from,
But how do we know what expenses
Yeah.
weren't approved? Like, say we get, instead of the 700 some thousand, say we get 400,000. I mean, I'm just throwing that out there. Well, how do we know how to separate that
Yeah.
out?
We don't have an answer to it.
Why?
That's the way their projects are written, that's the way they responded to the DM, it was a broad stroke of the pen. It was for the project, it wasn't an item by item decision, and
is that something Leon can help us with? Because we have to be able to do something.
Yeah, you gotta be able to rationalize it.
And
we can ask him, but I've never gotten an answer to that before.
And what would be wrong with, if they want these documents from Leon, what would be wrong with them saying, okay, there, we'll get them? What would be wrong with just throwing it out there, here they are? Because like, it's hard even for my point of view, I don't feel like I've seen all the documents. That's not saying I can make sense of all the documents, cause I wasn't part of it from the beginning, but
Neither was I, most
Maybe-
of us haven't been, so.
maybe it's okay just to say, get them, instead of us just feeling like we're not giving them something. If we have nothing to hide, take them. Here, Leon, get them what they need. What would be wrong with that?
And they said email communication and other stuff there's nothing wrong with them having any of that either, is there?
That would be my,
That would be my hope.
I would hope so,
But the only negative is are they just continue to shake the tree to see what falls out and they continue to make more work for everybody and.
Well,
and they-
that's why we don't wanna keep giving them the same information.
I mean,
is
I know
because-
for a fact my emails have been requested and provided already, I think Marge's emails were requested and provided. There's been all sorts of stuff that has been provided, we probably should have kept better track of what was requested and what was provided from the beginning.
Well, we have the emails that we've sent.
I know we've got more recent requests written down, but
So
I
we-
know some of the beginning ones were just, information was printed out and handed to them. I mean, I know Vince had a stack of paperwork about this tall on the desk of the counters out here more than once, like, there has been a ton of records that have been given to them.
Well, if they're saying what's missing is whatever, everything from Leon Freeman, let's just let them have it.
I agree.
I
I
mean,
do,
just let them have it, like, there is no reason to not. Honestly,
Is there a reason to not?
not that I know of, is.
I
what would
don't
be
know
reason
the
to
answer
not?
to that, I don't.
Well, if Leon says he can give it, he just needs approval from the board, I would think that would be enough. Wouldn't
I
it?
wanna hear that from Leon though too.
That probably
Okay,
should be a
I'm sure
conversation.
yeah,
But like, why would it be private? Is there any reason why this would be private? It's,
is any of it confidential?
the only thing I would be emails, but I don't know about that.
I mean, the discussions with our attorney currently would be protected by attorney-client
Yes.
privilege, those would definitely be confidential. I don't know I haven't necessarily thought through every possible avenue or road of the rest of the discussion.
well, to me,
Yeah.
if we can't give it, there needs to be a reason. There needs to be a concrete reason, because, we're all public. There's been things that have been requested in here that really were public that have not been given up. And, I mean, they've requested that as well. I don't know the status on that. So why, I don't know. When we refuse, we appear to not be being transparent. I can't see any reason why we would refuse giving him permission to get records for this. I can't. I can't see why that would be.
It would make sense to have a conversation with Leon. What did you say? Do you feel did you say, yeah, that's fine to give it out as long as the board gives me permission? And that's an understandable thing for him to say, he does work for the county, for the board. And
Right.
so,
But
and then if he says, yeah, that's fine, if you guys approve it, then.
But don't you think if you're gonna do something like that
and I don't know how the mechanics of this work, but don't you think he should give that information to Tammy, and then so Tammy has a record that she's
Yes.
giving it to these
Absolutely.
guys, so they don't come back saying, and I agree, they make us look like asses.
Yeah, I mean, I think it should be sent to both of us, because, sent to them and to me, because if it sends to me, then they might say, I'd rather it
Okay,
come directly
okay.
from him
So they
to
don't
both
think
of
you
us.
withheld.
Right,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's fair.
Because if it'll, whatever, there's, if.
Yeah.
So,
Don't hold it.
Yeah. So do we need to put it on the agenda so everybody can talk to Leon? What do we need to do?
Absolutely,
Okay,
absolutely, we all need to hear it.
okay. Next week, I can see if he's available.
Sure.
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay.
And I would hope that you would communicate with him prior to that phone call, any of us.
Okay. Alright, I will get a hold of him and see if he's available next week. So pending this afternoon's, if everything goes well this afternoon, you don't have to approve anything, the tax levy, it's just the hearing. I've sent all the information to Doug, he's the one that does the PowerPoint for me, so I have gotten him all of that information so he can start with that. I really appreciate his help, I know there's been a lot of tension lately, but Doug goes above and beyond for me. Anytime I ask anything of him, he does it without hesitation, and this is the, fifth, sixth budget, and his office has helped me with every single one of them. They can do it.
And prior to,
Yeah, and
they
prior,
did every
yes,
budget with me and
Yeah.
every budget with Joanne,
yeah,
Dolores,
yeah.
everybody.
So, he puts a lot of effort, into it. No questions asked, no thank yous, no, he doesn't get anything out of it other than knowing he's helping. So, I just wanna let you know that, also. But, so we're getting that ready. Next week you'll set the date and time for the public hearing. We're getting ready for primary election. I put on your desks yesterday, whatever day it was, Friday, who our candidates are, as of right now. If somebody is seeking a position as a no party, they have till June 2nd to submit those papers, 5 o'clock on June 2nd. So, it has to be before the election results are in.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
yeah, so that's what we have so far. If you have any questions, let us know. The objection deadline is this Friday, so.
Objection to,
Objection, if
you can
anybody
object
objects.
to somebody being,
Yep, so, I think that's all I have. Thank you, Howard and Amber, for being at the department head meeting on Thursday. We really like it when the board members are there, listening, and sometimes we have questions, and it's nice to have somebody there to answer them.
I enjoy them, I just can't always make them, but yes, I will come as often as I can.
I sound like a 3-year-old. It was a miracle I was there. My wife said something, I said, yeah, I don't know. I don't think it was on the sheet.
Yeah, I forgot to put it on.
So it helps me,
Yeah.
but I shouldn't need that help, but.
No, that, I completely forgot.
I marked off an entire year on my calendar that worked.
Well, it was different because of ISAC, right?
Yeah, it was different because of ISAC,
It
yeah.
wasn't the second.
Yeah, and then I
I
was
did
gone
check.
at ISAC, and so my agenda was lacking, so yeah.
Anyway, it would have been my fault for not being there, but anyway, the reminders are helpful.
Yeah, I
Even
tried.
though I shouldn't have to.
No.
Very helpful.
I'm
you're done, okay.
Done.
Mr. Wachter, anything?
I did not have any meetings.
Okay. Amber?
I did, so, we already kind of talked about the department head meeting and stuff, but I did think it went really, really well. It's always nice to hear everybody's opinions. Okay, so I had, early childhood, North Central Iowa. I'm on the finance part of it, we went over the balance sheet and the programs, where we are and they're spending what percent of the year and things like that. And the ones that aren't quite there, you know, Selena does a good job, she reaches out to them and they're like, oh yeah, no, we'll spend it, but it's gonna be here, so, we're on track with all of that, including the tuition assistance. And then, I guess the week before that, the Thursday or Friday, I had the North Iowa Community Action Organization, meeting. We went over all the monthly reports from Melissa Nelson, Ryan Ingersoll, Cindy Davis. Cindy Davis is the CEO. Also, a performance review, 3% increase. If you're curious, some of the, I think it's probably important to say some of the accomplishments for 2025. It's a $12 million budget, 106 employees. Purchased a new building in Mason City for the Head Start program. I guess I don't know what the Roma recertification is, but completed the Roma recertification. She's a member of the Iowa Legislative Committee, point of contact for ICAA. So just lots of things that they do. I mean, they do so much. Like sometimes you go to those meetings, your head kind of spins because you don't realize all of those things that they do, but they all give their reports and they all seem to know their job very, very well and do a very good job. I would commend all of them. That's it for my meetings, but then I had kind of said something to Kyle a little bit. I had a phone call asking if surface outlets and drainage culverts can be replaced in a drainage district when they're going through things. So, and right now that's our practice, that we do that as needed. So there's some project, I think he said kind of a Lindner Creek, something. So anyway, he said, I'm just verifying, he says it always was that these were, you know, part of the project, I shouldn't say project, repair, but I kind of said, well, why wouldn't it be? It's in a drainage district, but Kyle.
Who's asking this?
Bill Trunkill,
And
and he works.
This is a contract.
He's
this
a
isn't in the
contractor.
road right away?
Nope, it's in the drainage district. So cause I asked that, I said, it's not the road ditch, right? Cause I can't say anything about that. And he said, no, it's in the drainage district. So it's fine, okay. I just wanna verify that, cause I said, oh, I've never really been asked it like that, but I thought if it's.
We've had requests
I've had those.
specific just for outlet pipes.
Okay,
Yep.
alright, very good. Well,
So,
that's.
yeah, just that.
Yeah, that's all I have.
Very good. Okay, John?
I did also wanna circle back to the dirt hauling comments from Don and Vince. That has been discussed more times than I can count, and the board did make a decision following those discussions. It just wasn't the decision that they were looking for. The decision was to have any requests for hauling dirt off come from the landowners to the board to be voted on and acted on for specific uses. So, since that time of the situation they're discussing, there have been multiple requests for dirt to be hauled off. None of those individuals paid a dime for the dirt. One in particular that I could speak to did not use it for the purposes that the board had approved. And I found that out after the fact, but it kind of done and over with, so I don't know that it ever came back up. But this continues to be a vendetta or an axe that gets ground, and I guess I'm kinda tired of it. We've talked about it more times than I can count, and it has been discussed by the board. I think attempting to try to review something that's 5+ years old is difficult, if not impossible. The quantity of the dirt, for starters, is the first thing that's probably impossible to have a quantity of. So, I don't know what anybody has for thoughts, but I do know the board practice that was put in place after that was just to request it by the board, and it was approved. There was no dollars associated with any of those.
And that was going forward, but did
That
the
was going
attorney,
forward.
did the attorney say that that dirt needed to be put back at that meeting?
He
'Cause I've
said,
heard
he
it come
said
up.
that was up to the trustees. He did not say that there was a specific thing that had to be done. He said that's up to the trustees.
Did the trustees make a decision on how that dirt was handled?
There was nothing that was decided at the time. I don't remember if there was a specific agenda item for it or not, but I believe the discussion and decision was to focus on the clarity and transparency and formal approval going forward, but there was nothing that was going to be done on things that had happened previously. And quite frankly, there was other tile projects in the county where there was excess clay or excess dirt and material off those that was hauled off at a very similar time in a different district. It just didn't become a discussion 100 times over in the boardroom, so.
But I don't think we can veer off on the others, I think this is the one that's being, brought up. So I, as, a fellow board member of yours, I just kinda want the answers because it's a question. And I've heard it numerous times. So it's been brought up in here, so, if we need to give a public answer that this is what was done, this is what was decided, then that's that. And we can, say what meeting it was done at, they can go back, they can review the video, so evidently, sometimes when people continue to ask the same questions, it's because they have never really received a solid answer.
They were sitting.
So maybe, I'm speaking for just me, so I wasn't here. Maybe if we need to give a solid answer, maybe we need to do it. And same thing with this Leon thing. Okay, let's give a solid answer. Let's give it. It makes all of our lives easier in the long run.
Leon was sitting here at the last discussion we had about drain 4 and answered every question that came up that day.
Right, but I'm just saying I can't say that it was in closed session, but I'm saying there's something I asked for that I never got. So,
So did this dirt in question, they act like it's the property of the drainage district. Is it is that true, or is it some individual property owner's dirt?
So, it's kind of both. It's the individual landowner's ground.
It's gonna be spread right next to the ditch.
But it's the drainage district's right of way. But the problem you run into is if you pull material out of the ditch or the embankment or whatever, and you keep stacking it up along the edge, you continually make the work harder, more time intensive, all that. So by getting rid of it, you're actually benefiting the district and the landowner potentially, but
But the landowner didn't know about it?
no, they did. They asked for it to be hauled off.
where did it go? Where did the dirt go?
Hauled off and it was stockpiled
Where?
at a private stockpile.
At a private stockpile? What did those
Just-
people do with it? Did they get income off of that?
I couldn't tell you.
How was it decided that they got the dirt?
That was the contractor doing the work. There was a project,
Who was the
Probably-
contractor?
Zach Lubenthal. There was also a project right before that, not even 3 miles away, where Doug had requested dirt be hauled off after the ditch was cleaned out, and it was along the side of the road right away, and he said it'd be an issue for snow removal. He asked for the contractor to either haul it off, or he said the road department could haul it off. Contractor was willing to haul it off to benefit the district. Didn't charge for it, didn't do anything, he just took care of it, and it was done over with. That was also discussed in the boardroom. There was no problems with that. So, this is being made out to be much more of an issue than it ever has been on any other similar situation.
So, okay. I think where the answers get lost is when you go off track and you start to talk about other projects and other things that have been decided. Can't we just stick to this so that Because we all have to answer to this. And sometimes when we circle around, then we get, I don't know, it can get confusing.
It's
So-
already been answered. 5 years ago it's been answered. Why are we still talking about it?
Well, because they brought it up. And honestly, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's been brought up to me many times. I haven't
I'm
brought it
sure
up.
it has.
But I didn't understand all of it, but you know what, if they're questioning it, like I honestly feel any person can question anything if we don't have the answer. It's okay if we really don't have the answer, but if we have the answer, give it to them. Give it to them in clear and uncertain, no uncertain terms, just give it to them.
They have gotten the answer in clear and no uncertain terms dozens of times.
Okay, but I just asked and I don't feel like you answered me clearly.
What did I not answer clearly?
Like, where did the dirt go and what did they do with the dirt and why was it okay for someone else to have that dirt? Like, why did it go wherever it went? You didn't tell me where it went, you said it went to a private place. I think what was in question is, did they sell the dirt? Was that the drainage district's dirt? Should it have been sold? I mean, let's just answer it.
I don't have the answers to those questions. That's not,
But do you know where the dirt went?
it went to a stockpile. I know there's actually probably a couple places it went, but
Who got the dirt?
the contractor hauled it off.
And the contractor was Zach Lubenthal?
Yep, which I already said.
Yes. Where did he take it? And what was it used for? See, that's where
We're
you,
not getting anywhere.
it's questions, Kyle. If we're not, I mean, answer and then a person feels, when you don't answer, you don't feel confident. So right now, I don't feel confident, now I'm gonna just do a deep dive into it. Because I have a right to ask these questions.
Well, before you do a deep dive, if it's the landowner's dirt, would have been piled on his land, and the landowner knew it got hauled away, isn't that in that case, isn't that the end of that discussion?
I don't know, who was the landowner?
Dimes would have been along the ditch.
Just them? It was just their dirt?
Dimes and Diterings.
Dimes and Diterings, which, is it Craig Dime?
I think Justin would have been the one that would have been talked to at the time.
What Ditering? I know a lot of Diterings, which one was it?
Blake farms along there, I believe.
He farms or he owns it?
Someone in his family owns it. I don't have specifics.
Do you know the sections and stuff like that, so you could help me out there? Sections and townships?
West side of P30.
We done with that discussion? Okay. You have more, Kyle?
No, I think it's a little more than interesting that this one situation is taken to an extreme compared to every other comparable situation. Literally, every other.
And I don't think so. I think when people don't get a clear and concise answer, they feel misled.
It's just, they didn't want the answer.
I think when people don't get a clear and concise answer, they feel like something is being done wrong. My God, if we're not being done wrong, give a clear and concise answer so that it goes away.
Anything else, Kyle?
Nope.
Okay, Howard?
I got a couple, yeah, we had the department head meeting, that's been covered. I got an email from, Todd Ferris of the Economic Development, they're having a meeting Friday. I don't think anybody, I shouldn't say that,
it's for Homes for Iowa, it's evidently I think it's a passion project for him personally, which is fine, but they're having a meeting from 10:30 to 12 on Friday about these, evidently, they feel they can build a cheaper home and make it available for the, so anybody, I don't think everybody got that email, so I'm just,
I did,
you
I
did,
know I
okay,
did.
alright.
But I'm the alternate for you, so maybe I would've gotten
I
it,
didn't
you know
get
what
it.
I mean?
Okay, so
I
anyway,
got
that's out there, and then they had they have another meeting scheduled for, and I didn't see it here, I didn't have time to get back far enough to look, but, there's another meeting coming that I know I missed it a year ago, cause we had a conflict, but it's another thing out at the Keats Center where it's the community leaders and everything, and supposedly it was noticed that no supervisors were there last year, and again, I could scroll and try to find, I don't know how, I don't know for sure how I know about that, but, I think it's in April, but I think I was farming last year.
You don't have that excuse.
I don't remember it.
I don't.
I don't
I don't have that excuse, yeah, I don't think anybody could go, as I remember last year, but anyway, it's coming up, I believe it's in April, but I haven't found it yet, so.
Okay.
But no, I don't think I had anything else.
So, keep in mind. Okay, I had no meetings, no specific meetings, so.
Before we adjourn, I did see that Doug and Donna and I just got an email from Michelle Moon from Wellmark. And she said, yes, you could have a special open enrollment in the fall for those members who currently have an FSA account, since they will be unable to switch to an HDHP mid-year. They could actually switch mid-year, they just would not be allowed to set up an HSA until January 1st, 2027. There is always that option, but I would confirm with Health Equity, as they are the experts on those rules, so.
Wasn't there something about you could convert your flex account to a limited flex
Limited, yep, for dental
stuff?
and eyes.
Yeah, dental and vision.
Yeah.
So would that solve the problem on its own, if someone has a flex account currently?
I don't know if there's a maximum on what you can contribute to the flexible, I don't know those rules. We did talk about it a little bit, but I don't know.
Are we gonna address, being upset, and we're gonna address that as, we really shouldn't lose them
No, please,
as our self-insurance, honestly, it's just so much knowledge, we can't do that. It's kind of why I had suggested we, give him some kind of a stipend to say thank you, because he does do that as a volunteer, and it is a lot of work, and this has also placed even more work on it. I just feel like we really need to respect the people that are doing this work and let them work.
Am I the only one that remembers my comments about other local banks that don't charge fees for HSA accounts, and that we need to look at other banks?
I remember that being said.
I think the issue was that we only went to one.
I knew one in particular that I was 95% confident had no fees. I didn't take the time to call everyone because I shouldn't have to.
I don't think they wanted us to.
I think it's our
that
due
to them.
diligence to find the best options for employees, and having a fee come out of their account every month or every year doesn't seem like that to me when there's other options out there.
Well, that's why we're doing the request for proposals.
But we could have done that weeks before.
Maybe, but you know what, we're all new to this, Kyle. We're just trying to get through it and make the best decisions we can. This is all new.
So why would additional information being provided be a bad thing by anybody?
I don't know, I personally would not take it upon myself to go to a bank. I personally would do it right here in the boardroom and say, here's the bank, they're local, would you please check them? I personally would not do that. I wouldn't, because I feel we have people in place that take care of that for us. I trust them.
That's it, exactly. When somebody goes behind your back and does it, it feels like you don't trust them.
Well, I've had conversations about high deductible health plans and HSAs for 3+ years now, doing research, so I think the information that's gathered from any level of conversations about that should be valuable for everybody to see. I brought it up here in the boardroom first. There was no other research that was done after that, so I brought information that was easily attainable. It was one phone call to Fidelity, asking if they could send over some information on their HSAs and what fees they charge, and it was quick, simple information. Would not have been complicated for anybody to get.
Doesn't matter, I just don't think you're gonna see the point. And you drive a wedge between us and our employees sometimes. And it's unfair to the rest of us. We need to work together. We need to work together, we're 5. I personally respect everyone's opinions, like like this, I didn't, that one little question I had, I didn't assume, I assumed, but then I'm like, I'm not gonna assume for the answer, I'm gonna ask. I didn't go on my own and just make a decision, I respect the past and how we work on things and what we do, so I respected the opinion and I wanted to bring it forth, cause maybe it might answer a question for, Howard or, not Josh, you guys probably don't have any drainage, but for anybody new, you ask the question, because I didn't wanna assume. We just have to have a respect for one another and all the employees. Because we really do have really good employees that work hard for us and we rely on their information to do our jobs. And sometimes I feel like we feel not appreciated when those things happen. Okay?
Anything else? Before we motion to adjourn? Okay, I need a motion to adjourn then.
So moved.
Motion by Haas, second by Garmin. Discussion. Hearing none, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carried.
1 o'clock?
1:00.